boy, as promised, Jose Ink. Like I said, hold on. We told you we was coming to y'all live and in color right after Wrestlemania, and that's what it is. Right after Wrestlemania, give or take a couple minutes. I said you heard. Niggas had shit to do. Don't judge me. Anyways,
Oh
it's
yeah.
your boy, Jose. Shauna Don, say what's good to the people.
What up, YouTube?
And the sleepy one, I mean the petty one, B.
Yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all doing this evening? Yeah.
Nigga got some bass in his voice because he's tired. So,
Yeah.
tonight we will be covering Takeover and Mania. I said you hear it. I feel like we should cover Takeover last, but we'll probably cover it first. But that's up to, that's up to personal opinion. I said you hear it.
I would say cover it first since it was in order of, Takeover was last night and WrestleMania was tonight, so makes sense to cover Takeover first.
I have nothing to say about Takeover. It was just hands down great. But yeah, we just start with Takeover or whatever.
Okay.
The petty one is really tired. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the petty one is very tired, as you can see.
Clearly. Okay, so first match Takeover. The fucking ladder match.
The NXT North American ladder match.
So we had Lars, the Viking, the Velveteen Dream, Adam Cole, baby.
Yeah, you real energized. Okay.
EC3 and Ricochet. I mean, me personally, the motherfuckers went above and beyond. EC and Ricochet both came in like, yo, I know we knew, and it's our first time getting to show you on TV what we can do. So we just gonna take every bump imaginable. So I respect that. EC3, I don't know if he did any offense all night. I swear everything had to do with him was getting put through a ladder, or a ladder being slammed on him, or 500 pounds of mass falling onto him, where there was a ladder on top of him or in between him of some form. I don't remember him doing too many things that benefited him. Ricochet was out there like a spider monkey. The Viking and Lars, they did what they were supposed to do. They were catching shit. Viking took flight one time, in honor of God of War. And surprisingly, Mr. Bebe came out on top. I had no idea they was gonna give it to him. There were so many spots I can't even really think of them all right now. Even though I just watched the match again this morning. But
yeah, cause your ass was too fucked up. You got fucked up off that match.
I remember that match though. I just watched it again because I was watching the whole thing again. Now the Gargano and Ciampa match, my criticism is gonna be real spotty because I don't remember that shit at all. But I remember the ladder match, and what did I tell y'all? If y'all put a ladder in the match, ain't no way it can be bad. But I think they even exceeded the expectations. I would have to say that fucking backflip off the ladder that Ricochet did, ridiculous.
Oh, in the middle of the match. Yeah.
Man, I mean, you could just keep naming different spots.
But you can't forget the beginning of the match where he's just straight did a standing fucking shooting star press to knock the niggas up more, just to knock them down in like the first 3 minutes of the match.
I mean, like I said, there was spot after spot after spot.
Yeah, the spots was crazy in that match.
It was a ridiculous way to start the show. I didn't think anybody was going to be able to top that shit, but the night definitely had a lot in store. That's what you heard. Am I getting my rating now, or am I waiting until the end until we all give the rating?
You can give your rating.
I gave it 5. I don't give a fuck. I said it last night when I was slurring. I gave it 5. There was really nothing. There was nothing other than pulling a belt. Oh, never mind. They did pull a belt out the ceiling. There's literally nothing else you could fucking do in that match, other than have like a woman get powerbombed through a table. There's literally nothing else to do in that match. So when y'all can have it.
You want to go B?
Yeah, I don't have anything to say bad about it. I gave it a 4.9.
You are so petty.
The pettiest. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I gave it a 4.9, and you know.
So what was the 10th? Oh, that was your 10th of a point. That's why, because Velveteen didn't win. If he would have fucking won in the 5-star match, Lord Jesus.
Yeah.
The levels of pettiness cease to amaze me. It's a new level of petty every single episode.
Sorry. That's just what it is for me. Alright, go ahead, Sean.
4.9.
Alright, so, as Jose said, this ladder match was full of just like spot after spot after spot after spot, and you keep thinking like, okay, they're gonna like chill out now and kind of do like some normal shit. Nah, there was no breaks. Like it's like every time someone would do something crazy, the next person would be like, all right, gotta top that, let's do something even crazier. I mean, whether it was, you know, Ricochet getting pushed off the ladder and turning it into a goddamn moonsault, doing a damn standing shooting star press off the apron, Ricochet getting like thrown through a fucking ladder, EC3 getting like power bombed through a ladder, or somebody was power bombed on top of him through a ladder. EC3 had 2 of the worst spots of the night when this man literally got Vader bombed by 2 people with a ladder on his chest. Like,
the whole match pounds.
Yeah, like the whole match was just full of spots. It was very entertaining. I actually said that might be the best ladder match I've ever seen. I'm not gonna say 100% one way or the other, but it's definitely in the conversation. I don't remember when we did the review for Royal Rumble if I gave the Gargano match 5 stars, but this match is getting 5 stars from me. So this might be the first match I've given 5 stars. I can't remember. Definitely the most entertaining match of the whole weekend, even including WrestleMania. Definitely one of the best matches I've seen in a long time. So I highly recommend, even if you don't watch nothing else, go look up that match. That match alone is worth it.
I said you heard. I second that. It's got everything you want and everything you need. I said you heard. Now, what's the next match?
Next match was Ember and Shayna for the women's championship.
So who want to start this one off?
I didn't have an issue with the match. They had a hard act to follow. And they did their thing. And I actually gave it a fucking 4.
I mean, it definitely over-delivered. I openly said that was, at this point, I was definitely on my ignorant shit at this point in the night, so I openly ripped that shit off as, oh, this was going to be the boo-boo match of the night. No disrespect to Ember and Shayna, just figured Shayna wasn't going to have enough to bring it for a caliber match like this, and didn't, especially after their last match, really didn't know what to expect. So I thought it was just going to be a flyby match. Definitely was expecting Ember to retain. But honestly, I feel like now that you've watched it all, it definitely had a hard act to follow. Everybody had a hard act to follow, but they definitely had a ridiculous act to follow. I think they did it in every way possible. Shayna was nice in the ring. I mean, she definitely didn't do like she wasn't the most technical performer, but she definitely incorporated her MMA background to the fullest of its abilities to make it fit into the wrestling world. She played her hero role. She was vulnerable. Ember got to get real aggressive because, as we all expect, she's going to show up in the next 2 nights as a debut. So she had to, be big time as well. The eclipse to the outside of the ring was bananas. There was another spot after the eclipse that I can't call off the top of my head right now, but it was kind
Was it
of.
when she stomped on Shayna's arm?
Yeah, she popped her arm back in place.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It wasn't the actual stepping on it, but the whole, the whole dramatic popping the arm back in place thing and like showing her toughness angle. That was cool. So I dug that a little bit more than I thought I would. But no, there was still another crazy. There was still another crazy spot that I just wasn't expecting. I don't know. It was some type of. I don't know if it was a power bomb-ish or something that happened. I did like the eclipse into the choke. That was nice. Even though they did it on the main roster better. Shout out Lil Rick. But
I heard him right.
but I don't know. I just, what I'm saying, like I said, I thought the match was gonna be boo boo. It gave me a lot more than I expected. I gave it like a 3.75. It was nice. It made Shayna official. I'm not mad that she's a champion at all. Especially we know the pirate is right looking at her down the barrel of the gun. And after the Rumble tonight, or after the Battle Royal tonight, we see that who is the NXT front runners in the women's division right now. So yeah, I liked it. 3.75. Good job, Shayna. I welcome you as a wrestler. Hold on.
Damn. I feel like for once I'm the one who's being critical. I will say the match was better than I expected it to be. I think we all kind of glanced over this match and said it was the weak link in the pay-per-view card, but it was better than I expected is the best way to put it. I was expecting it to be very, very poor, especially after like their last match at the Takeover Philadelphia, which was pretty disappointing. So I didn't expect very much from this match going in. I did expect Ember Moon to retain, so that was kind of a surprising outcome. But I pretty much agree with everything Jose said. The spots, it was obviously not going to be nearly as many crazy spots as the ladder match, but they had a few. They had her doing the eclipse all the way outside to the floor. They had Shayna popping her shoulder back into place and a couple other things. I think the powerbomb you were talking about was, I think she had Ember Moon in a triangle choke, and Ember picked her up and powerbombed her.
Yeah, the red page powerbomb. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and then there were a couple other ones I can't remember off the top of my head. And the outcome was pretty cool, like having her adjust her finishing, submission to where she couldn't, holding on to her hair because she couldn't use her other arm. And I mean, Ember definitely was in it for a long time, so they really kind of sold that, like, Ember was trying to fight out of it, and then like eventually she just couldn't take it anymore and passed out because she was in that damn submission for, it had to have been like at least 2 minutes just rolling around in the submission the whole time. So
no bullshit.
I do agree that it made Shayna Baszler look like the tough, gritty, real-life MMA fighter that she is, transitioning over that character to her wrestling persona. It did kind of put her over and make her look as like a believable champion now. So in that regard, it served its purpose. And like most people would say it's kind of a clue that Ember's probably going to get called up either tomorrow night on Raw or Tuesday on SmackDown, which is why she dropped the belt. Overall, I did give the match 3 stars. I thought it was a good match, better than I expected, but definitely not any of the best matches on the card. So,
Okay.
What you got, B?
Next match. I already said it. I went first.
yeah, he gave it a 4.
Oh, yeah, you did go first. Oops. Okay. What was the next match?
Yeah, the tag team match for the tag team titles and the Dusty Rhodes Cup.
My personal favorite match of the night. I think you heard. Surprisingly, since didn't involve a ladder, but nonetheless, this is my favorite match of the night. Who wants to lead off?
I'll do it. I'll get it. I'll get it off my chest right now. By the time this match came on, my ass was fucking drunk. Okay? We not gonna sugarcoat it. No sugarware for him. In my head, I wanted to give it a 4, but I just can't actually remember it. I just remember the heel turn. That was basically it. I'm sorry. That's all I really fucking remember from the match. I gotta go back and rewatch the shit. But yeah, I can't really give it a rating at this time. Sorry. I just can't. From here and the rest of the pay-per-view, I just can't give a rating to. You know, I can't. So I'm gonna just put an A right now, N/A, and that's just where I'm go. That's where I'm gonna go with it.
All right.
I was honest.
Okay. Okay, so I'll talk about the match. So you had the triple threat match. It was for the NXT Tag Team Championship and the Dusty Rhodes Classic Cup. So you had the Undisputed Era, which was Adam Cole doing double duty to replace the injured Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. They came in as champions. Then you had the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellerling as their manager, and then the third tag team was Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne. The match overall was really good. I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. There was a lot of, back and forth with each of the teams kind of having their own moments where they were given their time to shine, as they say. Plenty of crazy, not so much crazy spots, but a lot of false finishers. Like Adam Cole at one point super kicked people like 20 times. It was crazy. So lots of big moves being hit that kind of get you excited and things like that. As the petty one mentioned, probably the biggest shock of the match itself was Pete Dunne did his finishing move and was about to pin, I believe it was Kyle O'Reilly. And
somebody, you ain't gotta get the name point
yeah, and out of nowhere, Roderick Strong comes up and kicks him in the back of the head to break up the pin, and then hits him with his finishing move and throws O'Reilly on top of him so that the Undisputed Era wins. Adam Cole basically was out of the match for most of the night because
he was out the entire match.
Yeah. Actually, so I take that back. So the 20 super kicks was in the ladder match. Never mind. My bad.
I was going to say something, but I was letting you go. I was just letting you roll.
Yeah. My bad. So yeah, he was literally out of the match the entire time because he got put through a table within the first minute. And then Adam Cole finally gets up and comes in, and Kyle O'Reilly are just kind of looking around like what just happened, and Roderick Strong comes up and pulls Adam Cole's Undisputed Era
badge
wristband off, and puts it on his arm to symbolize that he was joining the Undisputed Era. So that was the big heel turn of the night. It was definitely an entertaining match. I gave it a 4 stars. So
Me, like I said, personally, my favorite match of the night. I went back. I was drunk as shit by the time this match came on, so I went back and watched it again today, this
Thank you.
morning, before I went
I didn't watch it today.
to work. This was a hell of a match. When you talk about matches that tell a story, from the body language to the facial expressions to the actual in-ring action, everything told a perfect story what was going on. You know, Adam Cole is the most charismatic dude on the card. Every time he was very not into it. You know what I'm saying? He was limping out. It took him like as Kyle O'Reilly is trying to go through the motions of holding the belt up and being cool and doing the whole Undisputed Era thing. Adam Cole still on one knee trying to get up. He's just slow. He doesn't have his emotions to it. People are doing the Adam Cole, baby. He's not participating in it. He's just, holding up the UA and shit, trying to hurry up and get to the match. As soon as the match starts, Razor and Akam just start now. They had the nerve to go a good 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes of beating the shit out of each other, and then realize, oh yeah, it's a tag match, and started standing in the corner and shit.
Well, because under triple threat rules, it's no DQ anyway. So
right, but
like,
it was supposed to but they were still supposed to be tagging in, and it went instantly like, oh, let's attack Adam Cole and kill his ass. And then actually it was like Adam Cole came in, made a save, and they was like, oh, you gonna make a save with your little hurt ass? All right. Powerbomb the shit out of him. Might have possibly been a botch, but could have possibly also been trying to be an escape. But they got him back and powerbombed the shit out of him, put him through that table, and that's where he remained literally for the rest of the match. All the back and forth, like the Authors of Pain, if they don't get called up tonight, they are literally like that Texas high school player who's 22 years old and they held him back 3 years so he's a senior in high school, because these niggas have no reason being in developmental. They need to be in the main roster in SmackDown or Raw tag team division. Like, you got two big brothers beating up on little brothers down in NXT. There's no reason for these big mammoth human beings to be down in NXT any longer than they already are. Like, it's ridiculous at this point. So that's what they did. They literally threw everybody around, did all their finishers, clotheslines all night long on everybody. Like, Kyle O'Reilly, he did his thing. Like, there was a moment, like right when Adam Cole went through the table, he literally turned into like Goku and just started all types of combinations, and he went Aleister Black and Nakamura in the same combination, like, punch, 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 leg kick, knee, sweep. Like, he like a whole what's name. Oh, and then also Kyle O'Reilly, I give it to you on the fucking sale, bro. He took a German suplex from Akam literally all the way across the ring, rolled out of it, and stood up and gave like the and then fell backwards out the fucking ring on some Ric Flair shit. Beautiful. I didn't remember it until this morning. So kudos to you, Kyle, because that was fucking classic ass sell. Then we get to the most vanilla motherfucker on the NXT roster besides Cassius Ohno, Roderick Strong, finally doing something to stand out. Like, this type of shit, it makes me think, did they plan this out since War Games when Roderick Strong denied their membership? Like, did Hunter have this plan since then? Or was this like, this is what we're going to do to get you over since Bobby Fish is hurt? I don't know which one it is, but it makes me think, have they been planning this for a long time? But this sets up so much, because like Sean mentioned last night, Bobby Fish is hurt. Now we have another tag team champion and a high caliber tag champion at that, when Roderick can step in with Kyle. And since Cole is going to be the champion himself, Velveteen in his match that I didn't mention put on, he went ham. Like, he did exactly what he was supposed to do. So I see him being lined up for the title shot. I don't know if it'll be against Aleister, because I don't know what the call-ups are going to be like tomorrow. I doubt Aleister gets called up with the belt. He might make an appearance. I doubt he gets called up, but Almez and McIntyre, some other guys, they might go up, and that leaves the next big match to be a Velveteen Aleister rematch, which I'd be willing to see, especially if the belt's on the line. So that whole little storyline with the Undisputed Era themselves, there's so many branches of where Cole's going to do, what's Roderick going to do. after Fish comes back, obviously Pete is on some trash. Pete is going to be on some trash when on Wednesday he wakes up on some trash. The bruiserweight is going to be on some straight boo boo because he's going to be pissed because he didn't trust Roderick at first after the first match they won, and he warmed up to him, and now dude screwed him. It's going to be some pure trash over that UK title in the upcoming months. So, and maybe even the UK title if Pete goes after Adam Cole because of this shit too. So that there's a lot of storylines off of that one heel turn, and then just the way they executed it. Who thought Roderick Strong out of everybody? Like, we literally like, what is this dude doing with his life right now? He's in 205. He's coming back down here. He didn't competed for every belt imaginable on the undercard circuit, as far as the NXT title, NXT tag titles, UK title. Fucking the only match he wasn't in was the goddamn North American title because he was in the cruiserweight tournament. Like, he's been in everything in the past 2.5 months leading up to this moment. So for him to finally make a definitive statement and just all of a sudden become part of the Goons, that's great for him. And I cannot wait to see what they do with him and all this other chaos. And they actually did it right where it was like nobody seen Mr. Vanilla joining the Undisputed Era. So I gave it a 4 just like Sean did. Adam Cole, baby. 2-time. 2-time.
Baby!
Baby!
Yeah. Whew. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Very good.
Alright, so next up was the men's title match. Andrade Cien Almas with manager Zelina Vega versus Aleister Black. Who wants to take lead on this one? Well, I guess not B, since B said he's giving an NA to everything.
Thank you.
So
B
can't really give his opinion. So Matt, you want to, or Jose, you want to take lead, or you want me to take lead?
Well, I guess I'll go ahead and lead now. So, this match, as once again off mic we've come to the conclusion, this probably was the quote unquote worst match of the night. Yes, sir. Hey, you turned in at the right time on that black mask, son. Yes, sir. Heavyweight championship match. So, this was the quote-unquote worst match of the night. Now, worst match of the night in this scenario, we mean that out of all the matches, this one wasn't as good as the rest. The other matches were better, but this was still one hell of a match. This had crazy spots. This made me, if you didn't like Vega already, come on, man. You got to come on. Manager-wise, 4 real interferences where the ref actually didn't fucking see what was going on until the finish. The finish was great. Of course, you know, there you go. K-Smooth, Black Mask, as he catches his own manager. And if you pay attention, still, no one has kicked out the Black Mask because Vega threw the leg up there, not Almas. Almas was done. That double backflip on both their parts, hand clap. That moment right there was, honestly, I didn't notice it that night as it happened. So I know I didn't drink to it. I should have drank to it though, because literally for you to hit the moonsault, land it, no, like, forget, let's not be like, oh, ring awareness. We know he knew he was going to roll. Just to be able to time that. Aleister roll, you land and then hit it. You did, yeah, he landed a little upper body-ish, but still, nonetheless. Crazy moonsault work. That was nuts. I mean, you know, he had the Gargano knee spot. He had Aleister did his thing with, you know, all the kicking combos. Actually, Andrade did do a lot as far as, like, you know, striking. He had that elbows to the rope strike. He actually held his own pretty much. He had a couple those spots on the ropes with the armbar. Those were really good too. I couldn't tell if like were they botches or were they on there, but they looked good. And Aleister sold them, so that's cool. If I did have any complaints, maybe Aleister could sell a little better. But other than that, it was a good match. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it wasn't. All the other matches on the card did outdo that match, but that's just because those were really good matches. The Aleister, this match, I gave like a 3, you know, maybe like a 3-2. But
Alright.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah, well, we still on NXT. We gonna get to WrestleMania in a second, my guy. But yeah,
Alright,
yeah,
so
that's where I was at with that.
my thoughts on the match were, I will say it wasn't the worst match of the card in terms of overall quality, because I do feel like the women's title match was a worse match. But to me, the reason I would say it's the worst match is because it was the only match that was actually a letdown. Like, all the other matches either met expectations or exceeded expectations. This match was under my expectations, because I expected this match to be a lot better than it was. It did still have plenty of good spots, plenty of good moments, a lot of back and forth. A lot of false finishes, a lot of, as Jose mentioned, Zelina Vega interfered at least 4 damn times in the match where she got herself involved, and it wasn't, like he said, it wasn't like the new age stuff where you just jump up on the ring apron and the referee gets distracted and is like, hey, get down. It was like she waited for the referee to be distracted and then did something without getting caught, which is how interferences by managers used to be back in like the 80s and 90s. So I definitely give her props for that, that they made that angle line work. And I was actually surprised. I actually thought Almas was going to win the match, but I'm happy that Alistair did win because I like Alistair a lot. So I'm not necessarily mad about that outcome. I think my biggest complaint was they probably could have done some more creative spots, like other than the double moonsault thing. I don't really remember there being anything that was like too creative. It was a lot of safe stuff mostly. And I did feel like the match was too short. I feel like they gave some of the other matches too much time to where this match felt a little rushed, which was one of my complaints about it. So overall, still a pretty good match. I gave it a 3.5 stars.
And then B, you said NA. So that takes us
to the main event.
To the main event. So yeah. Said shout out K Smooth for that. Cool there, hold on though. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give that an NA. Check me on Twitter for that response because I was blew out. All I remember is that Gargano won. So yeah.
Okay.
You could think ladder match for that one.
I'll take this one by the reins. So this was my right. This was my favorite match of the night, although I didn't give it necessarily the highest rating. I just appreciate all the actual booking that went into this match, because for once WWE did long-term booking. This is something that's been building for over a year. This is something where they've been constantly, like, it's constantly been a recurring theme. It's not something that they just kind of spontaneously got out of the blue. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the whole angle of the former best friend teammates turned bitter rivals. The teammate stabbing you in the back, to a point where not only did he cost him a title match, but he literally got him fired from NXT. So there was just a lot going into this match storyline-wise that made it very compelling to want to watch. So the stipulation was, it was because Gargano technically wasn't employed by WWE. It was an unsanctioned match, and if Gargano won, he would be reinstated, and if Ciampa won, Gargano would be permanently banned from NXT. So this match was like 40 minutes long and had so many spots. I feel like they tried to match the ladder match, which they didn't. They didn't match the ladder match's craziness, but they tried. They had Ciampa getting powerbombed on the concrete underneath the padding. They had people getting put through tables. They had people getting hit with crutches. I mean, the end of the match, Ciampa actually tries to hit him with his own knee brace, and then Gargano uses the knee brace to choke him out and win. Like, there was just a lot. There was a lot of crazy stuff in this match to the point where you can't even remember everything because it was just so long that, like, unless you were literally writing every crazy spot down, you're gonna forget something here or there. Definitely, like, the emotional storytelling of the whole thing, and like even the ending where it seems like Ciampa's like almost maybe trying to make a face turn and be like, I regret what I've done, and I just don't want to be here anymore. But then he goes right back to his villainous ways and tries to like use it as an opportunity to hit Gargano again, and then Gargano just puts him out of his misery and is like, well, if that's how you're gonna be, let's just fucking end it. So yeah, it was a great match. Still wasn't the best match of the whole night because the ladder match was just that insane, but I gave it a 4 stars. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and if you're a fan of matches, like, they do have some crazy spots, but it is also a lot of technical back and forth, which made it really enjoyable for me because I always appreciate a more technical match as well. So having a technical match that still has the crazy spots thrown in periodically was very enjoyable. So
okay, so that brings us to NXT. Are we going to do the pre-show or no?
We can do the pre-show real quick.
Okay. Men's Battle Royal.
Men's Battle Royal.
I picked Zigzag to win. Who?
Yeah.
Matt Hardy won.
Matt Hardy won, yeah.
You know what? I'm not even gonna give it a rating. I'll give this cruiserweight match a rating, but I'm not gonna give the Battle Royals a rating. I'm just gonna give the Men's Battle Royal a thumbs up because of the Bray Wyatt ending.
Yeah. So for me, I'll give it a rating just because I gave it a 2 stars. I thought it was okay. I think that the people that were kind of like the big standout stars that you expected to make it to the end were the ones that made it there. I did think it was really cool how they had Bray kind of do his little, random teleport into the ring. And it almost was like, oh, what's he going to do? And then he actually helps Matt Hardy to win. So it's kind of like, oh, like Bray Wyatt has changed and now he's actually a face was really cool.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was by no means a great match, but it was enjoyable enough.
Here's my one question though. Go ahead and I'll ask my most important question of the Battle Royal.
I have nothing to say bad about the Battle Royal.
Nothing bad.
That's to be expected.
That is first.
A big ass clusterfuck. That's all.
Okay, that's nothing bad though. Okay, well, the number one question for me was: did Mojo just display a new finisher tonight? That that over the neck shoulder press flash plant thing. Was that the new finisher instead of the running punch?
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Because the unphenomenal forearm wasn't working, so
it was not.
If so, I mean, this was a little bit more devastating. It got me to go ooh. So maybe this could work for him. But hopefully that was what it thought. I felt it was a finisher. It felt finisher-ish.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, it could be his new finisher. It's really hard to say without seeing him use it in a regular match setting,
Right. True.
But yeah, it was definitely, even if it isn't his new finisher, even if he just uses that as a signature move, it's a definite upgrade from the running punch. So.
Right. I guess I'm also glad that Hardy did win too. This was dope. I wasn't.
Yeah.
He was the last person I thought was gonna win the damn thing. So.
Right.
But I didn't like the fact that Zigzag lost. I didn't like the whole Shawn Michaels thing. Why keep on catching yourself to bring yourself back in just to lose? I don't understand the whole angle with zigzag at all in it because I knew what they were doing. They showed his feet not touching the ground every single time. We know, okay, Shawn Michaels, get it, but you didn't win. So, like, Naomi had more of a Shawn Michaels finish than you had, leading us into the women's rumble.
Yeah, the women's battle royal
with the pimp battle royal. Where they handed out an ovary. I think. Look at the trophy. It was a fucking ovary. WWE is notorious for being retarded. Never forget the Mexicools and Triple H was a racist when he beat Booker T. Never forget. They handed out a fucking ovary. But anyways, like I said, I'm not going to give it a rating, but I give it a thumbs down because not to disrespect the women, and honestly, it was pretty decent work going on in between the ropes. But Sean will feel me on this. And no disrespect to Naomi, but Naomi had a push before Becky, so why the fuck would Becky not win it at this point? Especially the way that it happened. Especially since her and Becky got eliminated, quote unquote, eliminated at the same time. Why would Naomi not go over? Like, it's due time for Becky to get one of these things. Naomi just got a championship 1 or 2 manias ago, so I just didn't understand that, which made me not like it. And then I don't know, it just felt rushed too. I was definitely expecting some work to go between Sasha and Bayley. I'm glad Bayley finally got her balls back. So cool, that was lovely. Good job, Bayley. But then you just got eliminated by Naomi. I didn't get it. Y'all didn't even turn the lights off for Naomi to do the heel toe. So what was the point of her even winning? I don't get it. It just didn't make any sense to me. So, and I like Naomi. What up, Oos? But I didn't get it. I feel like it was straight fire time at this point. It didn't make sense.
You want to give your opinion, B, and then I'll go last?
No, not at all. Like, it was to be expected. It is what it is.
He just don't got no holler for the better royals. So that's just all that comes out to.
I was gonna say, are you gonna give your opinion on anything tonight? Because you kind of been lackluster. I'm just asking, but it's all good. It's all good, B. I understand. You're tired. I get it.
I'm here.
I know. You're trying. I hopefully you can get more pumped up when we get to the main card. All right. So, all right, I'll give my opinion on this match, and I know for sure this is a first. I don't know about the 5-star rating. I may have given the Gargano match with almost a 5-star. This is a first for me. This match gets a goddamn 0 fucking stars from me. This match was garbage. I am so angry at how they did the entire fucking thing. Half your people were NXT people. And for real, unless you watch NXT like pretty regularly, you wouldn't have even known who they were because it wasn't Ember, it wasn't fucking Shayna, it was like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay and
do
fucking
don't do Peyton.
Kairi Sane and Dakota Kai, which is Mini Bailey. And like some other bitches.
I really didn't understand
the random bitch who was in the Mae Young Classic, who was from India, who got trained by the Great Khali, like that means anything. Like,
I definitely don't remember.
Yeah, it was like half of them were NXT people. You didn't even do entrances for the WWE divas except for 3. You did Becky's entrance, you did Sasha's entrance, and you did Bayley's entrance, which kind of led you to believe that they were going to be the last 3 people and probably have the most important role in the match. Except they don't do that because my girl Becky gets eliminated and there's still like 6 bitches left in the ring. I'm tired of them fucking over Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. I try to be unbiased. I try to be unbiased. I try to be unbiased. But if you're gonna fuck over Becky Lynch literally every fucking time, you're making me not even care anymore. Like, what is the point in her being in the match? You're really gonna tell me she deserved that? She's not one of your best female competitors. That's honestly what you believe. Because if you believe that, you're smoking crack.
One quick pause in the action. Shout out Zach Mimes Gaming. That's what you heard. I see you. We just in the moment. Hold on, though. But yeah.
Yeah. And then, okay, so then you're going to eliminate Becky. So now it's kind of like, okay, so now we're going to have this big climax where Bailey and Sasha are gonna go at it. They had the whole backroom brawl on Raw like 2 weeks ago.
Climax though.
But then that doesn't even happen because we get to this like thing where they kind of look like they're gonna hug and like make up and be friends again, and then Bailey just throws her out of the ring, which was nice because it was kind of like I wouldn't even necessarily call it a heel turn per se, but as Jose said, getting your balls back or whatever. But so it's like, okay, cool. So Bailey wins. All right. Well, you know what? I'm okay with that. Bailey getting something nice. I mean, yeah, like I'm cool with that. Like, you know, it's nice that she got rewarded with something at least. But then no, Naomi gets back in the ring. Randomly, they decide to say she hasn't been eliminated yet.
She wasn't eliminated. She didn't go over the top rope. She went through the bottom rope.
Okay, so she just but if Miz did that, you'd be calling him a bitch. But Naomi does it and it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Naomi is like the stepsisters of the Horsemen. We understand it, but at the end of the day, the Horsemen got to get to just do before anybody else. We know of SummerSlam Bailey main event climax is coming. So, where is the love for Becky? Lil Rick out here winning the entrance award, and Becky is going out during the mid card. What is going?
When they decided to put Bliss over, my honest opinion.
How did she fuck up that?
That's who she lost the belt to, and then that's who Naomi won the belt against. Becky dropped the belt to Alexa at TLC.
Okay. What does that got to do with them fucking Becky over consistently? If anything, that means Becky should have got the belt, the push now, because Naomi just had a push. Naomi just fought for the title in her hometown.
But again,
they can't wrestle in Dublin. Okay, well look, let's go to the Cruiserweight match. Damn, we already skipped over the fucking Cruiserweight match because I forgot this nonsense was the damn main event of the damn pre-show.
Yeah, I forgot as well. So yeah, Cruiserweight title, Mustafa Ali versus Cedric Alexander.
I mean, no surprise, my favorite match of the pre-show. But
no surprise there at all.
I mean, I'm gonna keep it cool. Honestly, now that it's happened, it was a good match, good match, great match. Don't get me wrong, but it is the exact same match we saw the night that Drake Maverick introduced himself as the GM or as the general manager. They didn't do the same spots per se, but they put on the same match. It was a good match. It was a great match, but it was the same match. So for anybody else in the WrestleMania community, y'all probably was like, hell yeah, they tore it down and they did their thing, which they did. But as somebody who faithfully watches 205, I've seen it all before in that match. They didn't do anything that I wasn't expecting other than maybe back-to-back 450s or inverted 450s that he literally took a full face plant on, the one that he missed. I wasn't there. I didn't feel like there was any OMG moments. There was nothing that I didn't expect. It was, I think, Sean, you text in the group chat at the time, sadly predictable. It was very sadly predictable. And I didn't like the whole heart. Show me that heart. Show me that soul. Show me that heart. Show me that soul. Because I understand what you were saying, Sean, by like, yeah, they're trying to show you the difference between the two, but what difference did they show? Because both of them was just getting slapped in the chest and taking it. So what was the difference between one of them, the heart taking the slap chest, or the slap, and the soul taking the slap? There wasn't one. Y'all just kept saying that goofy shit because that was a storyline y'all was running with. Just like when they were doing their first promo and they kept saying, Mustafa Ali, it won't beat me. Cedric won't beat me. I am Mustafa Ali. Cedric cannot beat me. I'm Cedric, and Mustafa will. Okay, we get it. You want us to know your fucking names. Like, so some of the match was generic to me, which they didn't need, especially since you took them off the leash. In hindsight, I like Cedric a lot. I honestly do. But I feel like This is gonna be real disrespectful to him, but I'm sorry. Your name forever now will be Buddy Bliss because that's what just came to my mind. So Buddy Bliss, I wish him would be in. I wish it would have been him. I wish it would have been him and Mustafa. I think that would have been a better. I think them two could have tore the house down. But for what we got, nice 3 stars. Gave the cruiserweight some meaning. These people, I'm pretty sure 205 gets the ratings off of this match. If they can keep them, we'll see. Ricochet, brother, if you gonna come on over right now. You and Johnny and Ciampa, bring your ass on over too, and let's make 205 great again, if there ever was again. But yeah, 3 stars on the cruiserweight match though. Say yeah, here.
All right.
Go ahead, Sean. That's your category. Go ahead. It's your category.
Oh, yeah,
nigga, you watched the match too.
Right. He acted like he didn't watch the match. It's fine. It's fine. So, I pretty much agree, co-sign with everything Jose said. Good match. Not a great match. I'll be honest. Like he had already said, it was pretty similar to the match that they've already had on 205 Live. A little bit longer, a little bit more time to work with, but it wasn't anything. I hate to say it in this way, but it wasn't anything special. It wasn't. It didn't have a Wrestlemania feel. It felt like it could have been on a regular pay-per-view, or it could have been on 205 Live.
No,
could have been a match in.
It deserved to be on the pre-show.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
why they put it on the pre-show.
Exactly. And
B, shut your ass up.
Right. and that's basically how I feel. Like, it was a good match. It just wasn't. It didn't have that extra. Like, to me, if I'm comparing that match to the match Neville and Austin Aries had on the pre-show,
right?
The
That's
Austin Aries and Neville match was a lot better.
Or if we think of pre-show matches in general, that New Day Uso match too. Like, you can go dummy on the pre-show. And let's be real, WWE did a good job about getting the crowd there for this pre-show. I don't know if they
really did.
I don't know if they let the nosebleeds sit down there early until the other people showed up, but they got people in them front row seats for the pre-show, so they had a crowd much more than Austin and Neville had to work with.
Yep, definitely. So, that's pretty all I have. It was a good match. It was a good representation of 205 and how they differ from everyone else because they are more athletic, but nothing amazing. It didn't have that wow factor for me. I gave it a 3 stars as well. And I will say this in response to Jose's point, I do feel like Buddy is going to get the next title shot whenever that happens.
He is #1 contender, actually. He won that fatal 4-way match.
Yeah. So I feel like that'll be a really interesting match, him and Cedric, and a contrast of styles. So.
Unless Ricochet or Gargano run their ass in their ruck shot real quick and steal his shine, but yeah, he's #1 contender as of right now. So Little Bliss, damn it, I just called him Little Bliss. Buddy Bliss is definitely.
Buddy Murphy.
What's his name? Yeah, Murphy will never be his name anymore. I won't ever remember him for anything other than Buddy Bliss now. But he a beast though. So what's his name? Much props to you, Buddy. But I'm sorry, your girl's more famous than you, bro. Is that your world tour, or your girls tour, my nigga? It is what it is. But yeah, time for the big show. Well, it's the big show.
Well, it's the big slow.
The big match show tonight, y'all.
Alright, the big show. First match: Finn Balor versus Seth versus Miz for the IC title. It was a pretty decent match for me. I gave it a 3-star. It was to be expected.
Only a 3-star? Damn.
Yeah,
okay.
It was to be expected. I mean, he had the Miz in there. If the Miz wasn't in there, I probably would have gave it a 4, just because I could have saved the WrestleMania rematch with Seth and Finn. But Miz has brought down the whole caliber of the match for me.
Lord Jesus.
His whole like his whole thing never changes. He picks his spots and he try to get the easy win. No, that gets tiring. It gets boring.
It does. I'll second that. Yeah.
Gotta keep my shit short and sweet.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Miz did bring the caliber of the match down, even though like some part of me wants to like Miz. I don't know if it's ride-alongs. I don't know if it's documentaries. Maybe it's the Ohio thing. I don't know what the fuck, but there's part of me that wants to like Miz. But every time he just does something that pisses me off. I still think he had the Naruto headband on, but other than that, that's probably the dopest thing he did all night. Like you said, the whole opportunity. Like it's cool to be opportunistic because I like people that are opportunistic. I'm okay with that, but you can't be so opportunistic where it's literally you don't even have a combo in your arsenal. Literally all he does is fall and wait in a corner until there's an opening to do a move. Like if he was on the video game, if we go look at his moves, literally if he printed out a list like Jericho, it'd be the man of 12 moves. That his finisher, his suplex, power slam, leg sweep, Miz whatever, kicks I can't use anymore because Daniel Bryan's back. And what's they like? It just
clothesline in the corner.
Point to the sky like I'm Ronda Rousey. Like I just don't what's name. I'm just not there for the Miz's shit anymore. At least not just the A-lister and all that stuff. I don't like when I like Miz when he snapped off on Daniel Bryan and he was this is my show. I like that Miz. Go ham. Like be tough or something. You be a crazy Hollywood motherfucker. Be Charlie Sheen if you're gonna be an A-lister. Don't be fucking I don't know, Will Smith or whatever the fuck. Be Lonzo. Don't be the little passive. Don't be Sarah Jessica Parker. Like I need more from my IC champ. The rest of the match though was good, so I gave it a 3. I gave it like a 3.5. Like I said, Miz brought it down. So, but Rollins and Finn, they definitely came. Finn was all over the damn place. I literally had like a little knot in my throat when Rollins picked up Finn and they did the O2, yeah, fucked up your championship run slam, and he jumped out of it. I really thought they was gonna go for it again, and I really at that moment was like, oh shit, ooh, Finn, don't do it, Finn. But I mean, it didn't have I can't think of anything too crazy. I appreciate Rollins' interest a lot. I liked the contacts. That was pretty dope. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it just
we pretty much
stood out.
Yeah, we pretty much all agreed that it appered like he was supposed to be a White Walker from Game of Thrones. So
right, which was very icy. Because you don't watch the show, nor do you care about the show. But I don't watch it either. Right. I just noticed it, so I feel like somebody who doesn't watch the show, if that's the first thing that comes to mind to you, it is highly possibility that is what it is. But
yeah.
I just corrected myself. There was decent moments of the match, but the spot was the curb stomp on Balor onto Miz's back. That was the spot of the match. It was a camera angle made it so it was out of nowhere, and then he did it again, Sweet Chin Music-esque. On what's name, Seth Rollins, as I like to call him, Seth Alpha. He is a ultimate video game type of character. He literally just has everybody's moves in his arsenal, and he's gonna do them at any given moment. Like Seth Rollins is the type of dude that's gonna sweet chin music you, then hit you with a pedigree, and then hit the moonsault. So, congratulations on the IC title. I hope this starts some type of rivalry with you and Finn, or if unfortunate for you, this might mean Joe is going to come back and rip your head off, and then I'll be all for that. Joe. But I'm happy that Seth Alpha won though. I mean, that's cool. I chose Finn, but I'm happy with Seth because it's not the Miz. So
yeah. All right. I pretty much agree with everything that's been said. To me, I mean, yes, the curb stomp where Finn and Miz were there, and he curb stomps Finn onto Miz's back was great. But I actually thought the my favorite spot of the match was when Miz actually had Finn Balor in the figure 4, and Seth Rollins comes out of nowhere and frog splashes fucking Miz's head.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was nice.
And definitely Seth's. I mean, Shawn Michaels would be proud of that super kick that Seth did in the match. I mean that was a sweet chin music kick. That wasn't just a regular run-of-the-mill super kick. That thing looked like it was just devastating. So I actually picked Seth going into the match to win.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm sorry. Can we pause, rewind all the way back to the ladder match? That's fucking. I'm sorry, but you have to agree. You have to agree. The fucking super kick that Ricochet took when he jumped off that fucking turnbuckle. Who kicked him? Was it Adam Cole? I think that was one of the super kicks you were talking about. That was a super kick that made Sean proud, and Ricochet sold the fuck out of it. Okay, back to regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, so I was happy with the outcome. I definitely think Seth deserves it. Seth shouldn't be in any conversation of not having a title. Like, he either needs to be in the IC title mix or the tag team title mix. I mean, I know that's a little hard for him because literally both of his tag partners got injured like back to back. But or I would be happy seeing him in the heavyweight title picture. I mean, I know they're on the whole Brock and Roman kick, but I think Seth is a fantastic athlete. He's great. He's a great athlete. He's one of my favorite superstars that are active. So I would actually really love, and I know people aren't exactly fond of Roman, but I would love to see a unification match where like Roman beats Brock at whatever pay-per-view and wins the Universal Championship, and you have a a throwback to like, what was it, WrestleMania 6, where it was Ultimate Warrior was the IC champ and Hulk Hogan was the heavyweight champ. I would love to see that. Seth versus Roman with both titles on the line would be great, and obviously with Seth winning would be the ideal outcome. So yeah, I was very happy with the match. I gave it actually 4 stars, so yeah.
Alright, well, the next match is Asuka versus Charlotte.
Which, the match itself was very good, so let's not like take away from the quality of the match. I think our issue was that this match should not have been the second match of the night. I think we all kind of agreed that that was extremely disrespectful to Charlotte and Asuka to have them going on second when you've got matches that have no titles on the line, matches that are, to be blunt, kind of a joke match, which we'll get to later. But then you've got this match, which was probably the most hyped match, other than maybe the actual main events with the men's heavyweight titles.
To me, this was the best match on the card. To me.
So, very disrespectful to put them on second. But again, that doesn't take away from the actual quality of the match. But let's just start with that premise, and then we'll work from there. So, who wants to start?
Yeah, Petty would go with, I gave it a 4.7. A 4.7 star. Great match. Great spots. It was champion versus the streak. I picked Lord Rick to win. She won. I just wish Asuka would have punched her ass at the end of the match. That would have made it a classic. That's just in my opinion. And had Asuka go here, but it didn't happen. But overall, I liked it. She did the figure 8 with one arm, which was awesome. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm trying to find the energy here. I'm trying to find the energy. I even made a cup of coffee. This shit ain't working. I know. I'm so sorry, guys.
Mind you, this is
apologies to the audience and anyone watching. Apologies. We swear he's normally not this. He's normally not this passive. We swear.
Mind you, this was his idea.
Right,
Yeah,
mind you, this was his idea.
Somebody didn't get connected back online for like 45 minutes. Not saying no names.
Shit, I was back and waiting for y'all to get back to the mic. Negro. Yeah, I was back. I was back.
Hello. I gotta finish my steak. and every goddamn thing
see,
else.
That's your problem. Your ass had to go eat.
Right, apparently all we had to do was start talking shit, and now he's got energy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll go
Motherfucker.
next. Charlotte versus Asuka, definitely a great match. One of the most memorable female matches I've seen, at least in a good while. I'll say that much. Of course, the whole storyline going in is, you know, Charlotte is the women's champion for SmackDown, and Asuka has her undefeated streak. And I just really loved the storytelling of this match. Like, you had so much going into it with the kind of the strong style that they talk about with Nakamura. I feel like Asuka as well is like the female strong style. Like, she's very stiff, very
stiff as fuck.
very stiff, and it looks believable. It looks like she's really hitting people in matches. And Charlotte being the pedigreed, you know, the championship lineage of her being, you know, her father, Ric Flair. She's had every championship. She's had the NXT Women's Championship, the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship, and the Divas Championship before they retired it. So she's regardless of who your favorite woman in wrestling is, she's the queen. Pretty much the most successful of them, because she's done it all at this point. So it was just a great match. You had so many memorable spots going on that were just really entertaining. I mean, Charlotte hit a spear that, I mean, it was one of the most beautiful spears I've ever seen. It was better than anything Roman Reigns does. It was better than Goldberg's spears. I mean, it just, that spear she hit was
completely
just like
horizontal.
Completely horizontal. Like if you were watching like one of those mid 2000s free safeties like Sean Taylor or like Brian Dawkins just lay out into a wide receiver, that's what it looked like. It was just great.
I'm sorry to sound like B, but the only way it could have been better is if Sasha would have been taking it, because Sasha would have did that backflip, and that would have just made that shit look so fucking powerful. Because Asuka sold it nice though. She landed on her shoulders. It was just, I mean, she was like a bow and arrow. I didn't mean to jump in your shit, but it was nice.
You good. So yeah, it was great. You know, you had Charlotte doing, I believe it was a moonsault, and gets caught into the Asuka lock. Ooh. You know, and I mean, there was some beautiful transitions in this match where they were countering each other into moves left and right. It was very technical. I mean, if I remember correctly, early on in the match, there was this moment where Charlotte does a leapfrog over Asuka, then does the splits under Asuka, and then as Asuka's coming back around, she like basically rolls onto her back and throws her leg up in the air and trips Asuka, and then like almost turns it into a calf crusher. Like it was there was just some really
and then transitioned that into the figure 4 attempt.
Right, exactly. So yeah, there were some very good transitions, very good spots, and a lot of hard hitting. I mean, these girls, they were not holding anything back. I mean, Asuka was hitting her with everything. Charlotte was hitting her with everything. I mean, you could see, I actually said when we were watching it, I said, I think Charlotte got busted open somewhere because I saw what looked like blood on her arm, but I wasn't 100% sure. It could have just been the lighting. And then at the end of the match, you could clearly see it. And I said, oh, well, yeah, she did get busted open at some point. I think it was from one of the kicks or something to her mouth, might have busted up on
her elbow her elbows tore up too.
Yeah, so it definitely just a really hard-hitting, action-packed match, left and right, very enjoyable. I gave it 4 stars. Yeah. And obviously the outcome, Charlotte actually wins and beats the streak, so that was very unexpected, because I think most people going in expected Asuka to win just because of her streak and, you know, all of that. So I was very happy that the outcome was not predictable, at least.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with most of what he said. You know, Yeah, Oscar's stiff as shit. Like, there's definitely moments that I'm like, damn, you are stomping very roughly on Lil Rick right now. Like, that doesn't look like it's a bump. It's like you stomping on her shit. And to me, I mean, you can pretty much, the whole match, was great. Like you said, there was transitions, spots, whole shebang. But to me, the spot was that Spanish fly from the top slash mid rope. I mean, if Vince was backstage, he definitely like cussed somebody out, or he cussed out Rick like, I told you to tell her to stop doing this type of shit. Cause there was a second there that it didn't look like she was gonna get that full turn, and she almost landed like Lita, but she got all the way there, and I was like, thank you for making it, cause and then the replay though, it looks real pretty, like that slow motion replay, it looks real pretty. Master 2, we working our way up to that Brock match. Yeah, trust me, there's gonna be a lot of shit to say about that. But
Get that whole
yeah,
match away.
but but yeah, the ending. I think the whole night they did a pretty good job of not having win who you thought was going to win. This one was definitely one of those. It makes perfect sense though, because we've been saying it the entire time, where we threw it out there. If we didn't think it, but we threw it out there. Like if it was going to be Asuka, because everybody thought, oh, Asuka, Ronda's going to beat her next year at next Mania for this title, or for
I
the
knew it was gonna be Lil Rick.
Lil Rick. Who else better to beat her than Lil Rick? Like Lil Rick has everything. Like Sean says, she's the most accomplished. She's held all the titles. She's broken the streak now. I mean, she comes from royalty. She had the best entrance of all night. I was highly disappointed in Bobby's entrance, and
You didn't get there last night.
I did. I mean, yeah, but the entrance thing and knock knock, I was feeling a little lackluster as well. Lil Rick, she shut it down, and then she literally shut it the fuck down. Shut that streak, all that streak shit, and all that other shit, all that shit.
Oh, can I just interject real quick? That the new game is to guess who the people are when they do an entrance like that.
Oh yeah.
Because as I pointed out, a couple years ago at Mania, Triple H came out and it was actually Alexa, Sasha, and Charlotte were escorting him. So now we're trying to figure out who were all the like Spartan soldiers with Rick when she came out.
Yeah, I say EC3, Ricochet, and Lars.
Shit. I keep trying to tell you, his ass is not moving. His ass laid up in his hospital bed.
That Vader bomb was nuts.
Or no, you know what? You know who that was? That was Tino Sabatelli, Riddick
the
Moss,
premier athlete.
Riddick Moss. They tag team, and the middle dude. I don't know. He was a little bit taller, so he ain't somebody we seen on the regular. But what's the name? But yeah, I know. I'm almost positive it was them two. Gotta be. Other dude just got in. But it was named them two. I'm almost positive now that I think about it. Maybe Tony Nese even. You on 205? That ain't the main roster. I love y'all, but that ain't the main roster.
He got 8 reasons verified on Twitter.
Eight reasons why I should be the Spartan. But okay, so Lil Rick 4 stars. Yeah, they went ham. Spanish Fly. She did it. She shut it down. All that shit and all that shit. She shut shit down. Like that's one thing. Like me and B always have this conversation. I always call Sasha the female HBK. I know people don't like that, but it is the truth. When it's all said and done, and you check her resume, all the history that she made, and all the first that she's been in, she's done it just like Sean did. And there's one thing that Lil Rick gonna have over her that she ain't gonna get is that she ended this streak. So, Lil Rick, woo! I said you hear it.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. So, now we going to the match that should have been on the pre-show. That's not, and it's the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
U.S. title, and I gave it a fucking 1 star.
Yes, you're right, Master K 2534 Asuka and Lil Rick was definitely one of the best cards or one of the matches on the card. I said you heard. But okay, yeah, European Petty. I'm assuming you want to start it off.
Yeah, so shit should have been on the pre-show. Y'all know I'm all for Rusev Day, and that's what should have got the fuck title. And the whole match was just a bummer. That match deserved to be on the pre-show. Shit was just a blah. Like there's so much shit that didn't happen that should have happened. It was like, bruh.
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump in there too. Go ahead and throw it out there. Got a hot two, and that was the hot two was just because
You
all
guys
they
gotta
did
look
was
at that.
all they did was finishers. Like they disappointed from the start because Bobby's entrance got cut off. That was disrespectful. It was too glorious for all that. Then
This
he didn't get
fancy
no
English, quit dropping them bars.
he didn't get no power neither, so that was another disrespect I didn't appreciate. Then when I mean in English, I was feeling his jacket. He was looking a little Cesar-ish, but it's all right though. But he came out, dropped a few bars. That was cool. Rusev. I didn't understand how Rusev became an American all of a sudden, but hey, do your thing, cuz. Then, uh, oh,
Okay.
and then the modern day Michael Jackson
No,
wannabe came out
not gonna
with
lie,
the
bro.
blue jacket, and he had blue jacket but purple drawers. I didn't understand that, but whatever. He came out with his broken turban. His turban fell apart as he was coming out. I noticed it, and yeah, he just killed my buzz. Like you ever heard Kendrick Lamar song "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe"? Gender. Every time I see him, it's like that. But this tight night in particular, he destroyed the whole vibe. I had to re-up. You know what? I'm gonna have to hit the bong again, talking about the shit, and we ain't even talked about it yet. But he got in the ring. I like the Bollywood boy, his little Arab boy, his little Aladdin. But I just wish he was on 205 with his brother and not being Gender's little errand boys, because I just don't get it. I'm glad he stopped doing that tomahawk thing. At least he didn't do it this match. But then, of course, we had the champ, the Viper, who is just at this point in his career just walks around like I really don't give a fuck. Just give me my check. It's like he's like Kevin Nash in WCW before it closed. And he just, the whole match was pretty much just straight finishers and blocked finishers. That's all I remember is everybody just did their finisher. Glorious DDT after RKO, after whatever the fuck Gender does, after who was it, and Rusev got to finally. I feel like Rusev hasn't done, bruh, the modern day Maharaja is garbage. He's just as garbage. He's about as garbage as that tongue roll I just did was. He's awful. But listen, that might be your man's, but he ain't mine's. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying,
Oh my
Rusev.
god.
I'm upset
Look at
that
Rufus.
Rusev.
Was that a comment? Is that where that came
Yes,
from?
yeah. Somebody,
Okay.
somebody told me don't
Yeah.
disrespect gender, but listen, I can't. I hate that Rusev had to take the bullet out of everybody in the match. Had Rusev had to take the bullet. Like I'm pretty sure at the end of the match, I seen Randy on the floor looking up, and the camera caught him looking up like, at least at least that motherfucker ain't pinning me this time. Like what's his name? Like I mean, get them Indian dollars, but fuck you. So yeah. Oh yeah, okay. He said, "Just kidding, just kidding." Yeah, bro, I ain't here for it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So, okay.
So go, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
But they could
Yeah.
have. I feel,
So,
but also hold on real quick. I just feel like they downplayed Bobby so bad in this match. Like they turned Bobby into Ty Dillinger real quick. Like it wasn't glorious in any stretch of the imagination.
We knew it was
super
coming.
disrespectful. Super disrespectful.
Super disrespectful. Super.
So, this match, I'm going to call it the opposite of Enzo because it has no opportunities. No opportunities.
No opportunities.
Like, it was just.
You just had
It
to
was
put that
just.
roach in there, didn't you?
I did have to because I hope he comes back. God damn it, I really do.
Or Mania.
I'm waiting for him to come back, man.
Go ahead, continue.
Yeah,
About the roach.
I mean, I like Randy Orton a lot. I actually was one of if you go back to the previous petty review, I was the only one who was happy that he actually won the United States title match. So
See where that got us.
nothing, Yeah, nothing against Randy. Nothing against Bobby. I think Bobby's a great competitor. I think he's probably the person who deserves the U.S. title. But I just, for some reason, I just had this feeling. I was like, they're gonna give this shit to Jinder. God damn it! Like,
He really
I just had this feeling.
He did fucking
And I
pick
even
Jinder,
picked Jinder in the thing. And they were like, "Oh, you're picking Jinder," and I was like, "Yeah, I just have a feeling. I don't know why." And sure enough, unfortunately, I was right. I just, it was it was an match. It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't the worst match ever, but it was just like it was a lot. Like Jose said, it was mostly just finishing moves. I mean, Randy hit, I think, 5 RKOs. Rusev hit a couple of those huge head kicks he likes to do, both versions, because now he does 2 of them. He does the jumping super kick, and then he does the just standing head kick, like a Muay Thai kick from like an MMA fight. So he hit a bunch of kicks. Bobby hit his glorious DDTs and a couple spine busters, blockbuster off the middle rope, and Jinder basically did nothing except hit a Koloss to win the fucking match at the very end. So.
Right, he's like he's the Indian Miz.
He's the Indian. He's not even the Indian Miz, because the Miz has more talent than he does, and that's saying something. Like, I hate Jinder. I really do.
There's a first. The Don gave the Miz a compliment. There's always a first.
Yeah, really. I'd rather see the Miz than Jinder any day of the week. As much as I hate the Miz, I hate Jinder more.
Let's hope that the Miz goes to SmackDown after his baby leave and gets that belt from him, and he wants to make that one relevant, because the U.S. title is hurting right now. Dolph Ziggler turned it down, and now it ended up in Jinder Mahal's hand after a short tournament that meant nothing because he lost that shit the moment he got it. So and then it was held by the dude who blew his money in the bank's hands. So the USA title ain't meaning pretty much nothing right now. Might as well bring back the TV title. But yeah.
Yep, pretty much. So yeah, I gave it a 2.5. So. Next. Yeah.
Triple H and Stephanie versus Kurt.
You know what? I'll lead off on this. You know what? After all the hoopla and the pointing at the sign and everything, I think the worst thing about this match was Ronda's outfit. You know what? She did a pretty good job. WWE hate Asian Royal Rumble winners. You know what? It might seem like that tonight, bruh. It kind of feel. If I was Asian, maybe I would feel that way too. But we'll touch on that in a little bit. Ronda's ass looked great. That's the comment. That wasn't my opinion.
He said Ronda's abs or her ass.
He said her ass. Yeah, her ass.
Oh yeah, well her ass. Yeah, her ass always looks great. Travis Brown, I hope you're taking care of her, because
no, Jinder really didn't deserve it, Master. It really should have went to Bobby, or I mean, honestly, anybody other than Jinder, but Bobby in particular, I would, or Rusev. I mean, what do y'all not? If Rusev leaves the company, that's on them. That's all I'm gonna say about that. That's a whole other show in itself, and there's a couple other guys we can put in that show if we choose to do that show. But nonetheless,
yep.
Where were we at? But we were on to the next match. Was that next match? It was
the Stephanie and
Ronda. Yeah. Worst thing about the match was actually, other than Kurt, was well, you know what? Back up. I won't say Kurt was awful. It just was glaringly visible that there is no more pop and explosion left in the gold medalist. He's at bronze level status right about now. So it's not definitely not the same guy. Ain't no Moonsaults coming no time soon. Triple H, he did his thing. You know, I wish, I just really wanted him to pedigree her ass. I really wanted him to pedigree, what's the name?
Ronda.
Ronda. Stephanie never officially tagged in. You know what? That's true, but she's also the boss, and that was very highly credible tonight, because Stephanie was doing all types of shit that should have got DQ'd. She played her mischievous little kid role to a T, so kudos to you, Steph. But Ronda, like, the main thing, obviously, I said going into this match, Triple H had a lot on his shoulders. He's the only one that's still a proven wrestler. Kurt, you don't got it. So, and then Stephanie never been a wrestler, and Rhonda, we don't know. Last time I seen you were training in a boxing ring, so I don't know what you got right now. So for you to come out and do everything you did, you sold pretty decently. You did everything better than I expected. You sold better. Your offense was good. It wasn't like you was out there hurting people, but it also didn't seem like you was pulling back stuff too much. You were throwing in your transitions and using your tosses exactly like I wanted you to. Because before I didn't, and all your little stuff you've been doing, it didn't seem like you were getting the oomph in it like you needed to. You did that role to get Triple H up. I wish they would have let you do something with it, but that was dope. I mean, that was nice. It was a nice little test of strength or so. I mean, honestly, I don't remember shit Kurt even did in the fucking match. Truth be told, but
he hit a couple suplexes and
they were lackluster as shit.
Yeah, I don't even remember him hitting an angle slam, to be honest. I think he did hit one maybe. But the biggest thing I remember is he had a couple Germans and a couple belly-to-bellies, and then he had his, like, 3 ankle lock attempts that he did, and that was about it.
Right. Well...
Well, I'm gonna just say throw the whole fucking match away.
Oh my god.
So you said what?
I wouldn't throw the whole
He said throw the whole match away.
It was not that bad. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was the comedy match of the night, clearly. But what's good, Dross? I said you heard.
It's when she threw them hands at Triple H. That's the only memorable moment. And if I have to get out of rating, I'll give it a point.
I mean, the only thing I didn't like about the match is, as we said as it was starting, it felt like Floyd Mayweather versus Big Show instead of a meaningful match. It didn't feel like Ronda Rousey going to be here for for Raw and SmackDown or whichever show she ends up on from here going forward and challenging for titles and stuff. It felt like she was coming in just to do her WrestleMania moment again, and then she'll be gone again. So the fact that now that she's got the match out the way and she's about to start taking on roster girls, hopefully they do let her come in and start facing the Dana Brooks and Alicia Foxes of the world, and then
Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I mean, but this is
come back on the Rumble main event WrestleMania next year.
No, but okay, well, no, that's the thing. But you don't know that she might really be. I mean, she ain't got nothing else to do. This is the thing, that she's not like the other ones. She like more of a Ken Shamrock. She looking for a job. She might actually be here if she
was actually trained. She trained
with Shayna Baszler. She ain't been doing nothing else. What she been doing? Fighting in the UFC? No, she didn't do bad. Did she have a bad match? Was the down parts of the match her fault?
And this is why we call it the petty review, because B is literally just being a hater just to be a hater.
I'm not being no hater.
You are. You're being a hater for no reason, dude. Like, the match wasn't even that bad. You're making huge assumptions. You're saying she's not going to come back until Royal Rumble. There's no factual back up to what you're saying.
I'm speaking my opinion, okay?
Yeah,
the match was definitely
you're comparing
to put Ronda
her
over.
to Brock Lesnar, and alright, whatever.
Thank you.
Right, she's not even a heel. She's coming in as a face. As long as she doesn't come in and start trying to challenge Bliss or Asuka or Nia tomorrow, let her come in the Raw, fight Dana Brooke and Alicia Fox. Let her beef with Sonya Deville. That's what I want to see. That's what we all want. That's what I want to see. Her, Sonya Deville. Sonya talked about it. I want to see them. That would be a nice little start-off rivalry for them to go to. Let her beat up on Sonya. Sonya put her over, and then work her way up. Go through Absolution. She can take a slow burn as Asuka does her thing, and then we go from there. But if I'll feel like UB if she gets right into the title picture. But if they do it right, she did a good job. Everybody did a good job in their role. And the only person that you can look at and be like, oh, there was a damper on the match, which it was just like Kurt. Every time we seen it, it just wasn't glorious. Like, it was just ooh. Yeah, please go back to being general manager. Don't nobody want to see you do this no more. I don't. So
I think. Did you give your rating of it, by the way?
I gave it 3.
Okay, I gave it a 3 as well. I'll start with that. I pretty much agree with everything Jose said. I wasn't expecting a lot going into the match. I wasn't really wasn't really sure what to expect from Ronda because, this is literally her first match. So even Shayna Baszler, which people will say, well, it's kind of like Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler had some matches on the amateur or indie circuit before she came to WWE. So even Shayna had more actual experience coming in than Ronda does. Obviously, we kind of already know this from his last couple matches he's been in, but Kurt is not the same Kurt. Unfortunately, I love Kurt Angle. I wish he was still the same guy who wrestled Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania, but he's not. Triple H pretty much is the credible wrestler who's still active, and Stephanie's never really been a wrestler to begin with, so we kind of knew what we were getting ourselves into. I found the match very entertaining. I thought everyone kind of did their roles. It was very much like a celebrity match, if you will. It was entertaining, actually. Once when you don't go in expecting it to be a 5-star caliber match, it was an entertaining match. I thought the most interesting storyline of the whole thing was noticing that the referee was the same referee that screwed Gargano
the fix
and
was
didn't
in.
see Ciampa hit him. And so we just kept saying, the fix is in. He's not going to DQ Stephanie. He's going to always happen to miss it when she does something and interferes in the match.
And Triple H backed his ass about the way real easy when he wanted to penetrate Ronda.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, that was pretty funny.
I want to start watching him real close. Anytime I see him from now on.
The fix is in anytime.
Oh, but hey, hold on, real quick. Master. Oh, well, hold on. First, Aunt draws. Ronda's movers were cool. She brings a unique shake-up to the women's division. She does, as long as they do it right. Master. I didn't like Triple H's entrance. I'm very so fucking disappointed in Triple H. It was the same fucking entrance. You just took out the cops and replaced female bikers. I'm highly disappointed. I expect the instant transmission from the locker room to the ring. It was, But anyways, back to you.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. That's all I was gonna say. Pretty much just that I came in with, relatively speaking, low expectations, and I was happily surprised. I thought Ronda did a pretty good job, all things considered, for her first match. So,
Said B, what's the stars? We know you threw the match away, but how many stars?
He said 0.5, and he said that was only for when Ronda was punching him.
What's the next match?
It's fucking petty. Petty fucker. He's so fucking petty. Jesus Christ.
So is the New Day, the Blood and Brothers.
Oh yes, my bloodlust match. One of the matches I actually got to win. The Bludgeons took it as I expected it to be. It pretty much was I mean, it's the best storytelling that's been going on the main roster since before Fastlane. They did it right. This is how you try to do something if you're going to do it. Raw, take note. Vince, stay your ass in the XFL so we can get more of this. The match itself, they knew they had they had clearly the shorter time slot of all the matches. You got to go in, hit hard, hit fast, and get it done. And that's what they did. There was a lot. Literally, we were watching the match, and right after Woods got power bombed or whatever the hell happened to him, and my dumb ass, our drinking game included, you had to take drinks during super kicks. And my goofy ass is like, oh, you know what? I'm proud of them. Ain't been no super kicks. 5 super kicks in the next 6 seconds or something, and from there it went literally a 0 to 100 real quick, turned up, and everything just started popping out of nowhere. Kofi, shout out Kofi for the Kyries, New Day Kyries, not in those stores near you. But damn, Kofi, did you? But damn,
you had to put that plug in there.
Yes, I did, because I didn't get to see Mella's shoes. Yes, Kofi. Why, bro? Why did you have to tell them that you was gonna be the one to take them power bombs like that?
Like that's it. That's like there was
no,
no
why?
more to that thought process.
No,
that was it.
I mean, I started reading this comment, dude. What's his name? Wet90 as, hey guys, I don't know if you heard already, but Bobby Lashley was spotted at Mania and is planned for Raw tomorrow. If that's true, it makes sense. That's why Brock won.
Speculation is that him and Brock are gonna have a title match. Obviously, that remains to be seen if that'll be the final decision, but that's been speculated for a while. And I'm not the biggest Brock fan by any means, but I actually think that would be a good match for him because similar to the Goldberg angle, it actually gives him a credible opponent who it's believable that he could actually match Brock and be that big, tough, physical guy. Right. Also, it would be nice to see since they actually didn't get to wrestle because I think by the time Bobby Lashley came in his first WWE run, Brock was already gone and had gone to try to do the NFL tryout. So never actually got to see that match. So that would be pretty cool.
Right. And shout out Master for the sub. I said you heard. Don't forget everybody that's watching or going to watch, hit that like button, sub, subscribe. I said you heard. But anyways, yes, Bludgeon Brothers are the champs. On some tag on to that, I don't care who wins between Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar as long as it happens before SummerSlam, so one of them can get their ass kicked by Braun. That's all I care about. But yeah, what was that next match? Was it the Braun? What's the next match?
Whoa! No. First off, sir. You're skipping over two people's reviews.
Wait, what happened? Did I miss something? Sorry, I accelerated real quick. What happened? Did I just review
I haven't
something?
talked about the SmackDown titles, and I don't believe B has talked about the SmackDown title match yet.
Yeah, you're right.
You just skipped over us like we didn't matter no more.
I started doing comments and shit, and that fucked me up. Okay, yeah, go on ahead. I said, G.
So I gave the match a 3.5 stars. I thought it was entertaining. Yes, I will agree. Kofi
hold on. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. Draws. I fucking did notice that. Woods did play the boom, 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 boom. Dragon's dagger when he called out the pancake midgets. I did notice that. Yes, I did. I did.
Openly, probably the funniest entrance of the whole night was them having fucking pancake midgets.
And that's exactly why Kofi got powerbombed like that, because they brought out pancake midgets. But anyway,
probably.
No, go ahead. I will not interrupt you again. As you heard.
Yeah, like Jose said, he unfortunately cursed us by saying, "I'm surprised there hasn't been a super kick yet," and within about 10 seconds, we had about 8 super kicks. It was ridiculous. Overall, entertaining match. New Day did their thing. Usos, of course, did their thing. Bludgeon Brothers just did the Bludgeon Brother thing and just destroyed everyone.
Did everything.
Bludgeon Brothers basically are the Mark Henry of the tag team division because they just inducting people into the Hall of Pain at this point. So yeah, it was crazy seeing them.
Hold on, we got a personal question from the audience. They said, Wet says, thoughts on Usos abusing super kick feels like just another move and not a special thing as when Sean did it. Yeah, agree on that. Of course, nothing feels as special as Sweet Chin Music though. Like there's nothing that'll ever be Sweet Chin Music, nothing ever look like Sweet Chin Music. But with the Usos, I don't know why, it just works for them. I guess maybe because they're twins and they're doing it in unison most of the time and it's coming out of nowhere fast and rapid, and they do it like in those sequences when they do it, it works for them. They do use the hell out of it, but I don't know why. It just works for them. Maybe because it helps us get drunk. I don't know. It works for me at least. But nothing will ever be Sweet Chin Music though.
Yeah, nothing will ever be when Sweet Chin Music. Sweet Chin Music is the greatest super kick of all time. But also shout out, if you haven't already watched the video, you can go see that Shawn Michaels is my #1 wrestler favorite of all time. So yeah, that's enough said. Shawn Michaels is the GOAT as far as I'm concerned. But I do feel like people need to understand in the modern era, the way wrestling works has kind of changed. Whereas Sweet Chin Music was a finishing move. When the Usos do a super kick, it's more so a signature move. and therefore they're going to use it more often. Their finishing move is actually the splash that they do off the top rope. So you see this with other people as well. I mean, I don't know if anyone out there follows New Japan at all, but the Young Bucks are notorious for using 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 super kicks in a match. The Usos are not the only ones, and it has been kind of abused in recent memory. But then again, you have to consider that these guys are, generally speaking, smaller than their competition. So, you know, the Usos are by no means small dudes. They're like 250 pounds, but, you know, it makes sense that they would need to super kick someone like the Bludgeon Brothers multiple times. So that's pretty much how I feel about the situation. I'm okay with them using the super kick more because it's not meant to be a specialist sweet chin music because it's not their finishing move to begin with. If you look at, say, Dolph Ziggler, Dolph Ziggler only uses a super kick once or twice in a match because it's still his rare move that he uses to turn the momentum of a match. If you look at Rusev, who does a jumping super kick, he's not using them all the time either. So I'm okay with the Usos being kind of the exception to the rule on that.
I said, Jared. B, you want to give us your review on the Uso match?
Yeah, I gave it a 3.
3?
I mean, yeah, I mean, it was to be expected. The Bludgeons come out there and just destroy shit. Like they've been doing for the past month. Is that appropriate to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Granted, I didn't pick up the win match. I picked my baby daddy's to win, but, you know, I wasn't disappointed by the outcome.
The shout out to Kofi for taking those powerbomb bumps, though, man. Jeez.
Oh yeah, those power bombs. Well, back to back.
Those power bombs.
He took a last ride
back.
and a coda off the top turnbuckle. Gold star power bomb on the top turnbuckle. Yeah, I do love the dominance of the Bludgeons as well, and they haven't stopped it yet, Master. That's surprisingly, but I don't know. I mean, not surprisingly yet because they have the belts. You know, after getting the belts, sometimes can be a curse for certain teams. I mean, luckily the Hype Brothers aren't together anymore, so for some reason they wouldn't be the champions tomorrow. Or on Tuesday, I should say. But, yeah, I mean, the Bludgeons, the fact that it's Roman and Harper, I think, like, they'll actually get to be dominant for at least until SummerSlam. And we'll see what goes on, especially if AOP or Sanity gets a call-up. Because, like I said again, those niggas is like grown-ass men kicking around kindergartners in NXT, and it's time for them to come up. But, so, next match. I think it's time to move on now. I don't think I'm ahead of schedule anymore.
To John Cena, Undertaker Elias, which that was supposed to be what it was, a fucking squash. Yes, Undertaker came out, whooped his ass, walked back, and called it a day. Damn, that was that.
It was a very petty angle. They did it. You know, I don't even know how to feel about it. This is going in the same category as the Battle Royal. I'm going to give it a bar thumb sideways, not up, not down, just the bar. It was a little bit below. It was a little bit below the bar. Yeah, it doesn't get stars. It's just it was there. It was like when Austin. To me, it was the same thing when Austin, Hogan, and Rock opened the show. Like it was like okay. But yeah, Bludgeons on the mic. Yeah, there's some screamers. They're more monsters. It's not gonna be too much mic work, but they probably can. But nonetheless, the match that we're on.
Harper can actually cut a decent promo. If you go back to when he was in his singles run after the Wyatt family first broke up and he had like his feud with Dolph and everything, Harper actually can cut a decent promo.
Yeah, he wasn't been the one talking anyways. Plus, Roman is just for the sheep mask. I don't think there's much more to him other than crazy spots and sheep mask. But yeah, what's
Cena versus Undertaker.
Oh yeah, no, okay, the commercial. So I feel like I'll just say this: I didn't put it down because at least Undertaker show came out and he did handle it like a boss. He showed up, put the little boy down, pat on the head, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna beast out. They did some type of mental tactics with the whole little, you know, the coat in the ring, and then and then he had the entrance and all the No. I would have liked it better maybe if they would have did what B said and he just walked past Cena and didn't even look at him. Like, little nigga, you better get your ass in this ring before I get there. Or like, but I would have preferred like Undertaker would have teleported and been right next to Cena where he was sitting in this crowd like, you wanted me, here I am, start beating his ass outside, and then took him into the ring, and then hit him with a tombstone. And what purpose do you feel Takeover Cena served? Was it Taker was still sexy with the long hair? What's it? Okay, so dude said, what was the purpose do we feel Taker Versina served? Was it to show Taker was still sexy with the long hair? Yeah, I mean,
Well, actually, that was a segment that The Rock got canceled. That was supposed to be The Rock segment that they canceled.
see, I told you. I wish I should. Ooh, if I could have found the betting site, if I could have found the place to bet, I was gonna bet money that The Rock didn't show up because it was like a guarantee. They had it like the odds were so stacked in the favor that if The Rock was gonna show up, like it was a guarantee he was gonna show up. That if you would have bet like $300, you would have cashed out. But anyway, it was. I mean, it was there for Taker to feel good again, not to not walk out on a loss to Roman. I guess it was there. Put it this way, I'll give you this. The reason that he gets a sideways thumb instead of a thumbs down, because I guess I did rather see that, especially with the Elias aspect, instead of seeing fucking Kid Rock do a halftime show. So, thank you for giving. Thank you on that.
Yeah. So. I don't even know how to give this match a rating because it wasn't even really a match. Like, it was a match in technicality. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think I will agree with Jose. I think the actual purpose of the match was for Taker to say he didn't go out on a loss at WrestleMania after, having such a historic streak, and then Brock Lesnar ends the streak, but then he gets a couple wins again, and then Roman ends the streak, which is supposed to signify I'm passing the torch over to the new generation. But we all kind of felt that Undertaker, of all people, deserved to go out saying he won at WrestleMania just because of his legacy. I also think there is a possibility that this turns into a bigger angle of John Cena now having like this desire, kind of like how Shawn Michaels did, where he was like, it was eating away at him, and he kept saying, I know I can beat you, and he was gonna do anything he could to get Taker to a rematch. We could see something like that with Cena now, maybe for a SummerSlam match, maybe, where it kind of leads up to them wrestling again. So that's also a possible angle that could come out of this. But yeah, that was pretty much it.
Leave that shit dead, man. I'm just tired. Sometimes it's just nostalgia isn't made for rivalries. It's made for one night only. Like, just give it to us the one time. It's done. Taker, Cena, we got to see it. Nobody really wants to see it at this point. Y'all was too late. It was just like the Ric Flair Hogan thing back in the day when they switched them up and had Hogan take Psycho Sid on. Be cool. I don't know shit. Raw, baby. Like, it's too late. Like, it's too late. It's just too late. It happened. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's keep it pushing. There's too much talent on the roster to keep on dealing with these old motherfuckers. No disrespect to the old motherfuckers, but y'all some old motherfuckers. Kurt, Taker, go sit your asses down. Cena, go sit your ass down, because I don't ever want to see you break Ric Flair's record, even though we know Rick has more than 16 championships. But we won't. We'll talk about the ones that they acknowledge for WWE purposes. And yeah, that's pretty much it on that. Also, which they said in the comments, like, they feel Taker needs a proper burial match. Somebody mentioned Kane, because Kane is going to be a mayor. I feel you, but I feel like Taker needs a Shawn Michaels burial match, like how Ric Flair got. Like Shawn did a whole backflip through a table through a motherfucker. Like he needs to go out going up against Demon Balor or Nakamura, AJ, somebody that's gonna like go for broke and make him. Even though we know now Taker's old and can't move like that, but they're gonna make him look like he did against Shawn at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what Taker needs. I don't want to see him go up against another legend to give us like next year if he takes on Kurt Angle. What's that gonna do for me? Put me to sleep. Like I will just want. I just want him to go out with a bang. If not, just leave him gone. But yeah. B said he don't got one for it because it wasn't a match. So, what was the next actual match?
Daniel Bryan and Shane, and KO and Sammy.
Okay, here. This is another personal question from the audience. Somebody asked, "What is your personal snack during Mania?" He sour cream and cheddar, sour cream and cheddar chips.
1800 and been wine coolers.
He's a damn lie. This nigga was over there eating whole crabs and shit, and me, orange juice, and probably chicken wings. I said you heard. But
I had pizza, so that was technically my snack.
There you go, there you go. But sour cream and cheddar, yeah, them is my thing. Thanks. Get some of that Tostitos, queso. Hold on, no, it's real Bobby Roode, glorious. But yeah. So what was the next match?
Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon.
Hold on, let me bring it back. I want a boo, but I don't know if it deserves a boo.
It was an okay match.
Oh, okay. It's back. I remember now. Did anybody want to lead? Because I'll lead because I don't got much to say.
It was not too much to be excited about except for Daniel Bryan returning to the ring. That whole little gimmick, you get powerbomb more on the apron and you be knocked out for like 15 minutes knowingly
that you go get up and do some right.
Everybody got time.
Okay, so yeah, basically I'm in the same boat. I mean, for Daniel Bryan to come back, like we just seen you get power bombed.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Shout out to WrestleMania. They are on the news right now. Shout out to ABC. WrestleMania time warp. Undertaker smashed John Cena through the ring.
Okay, well, I feel the same way. It definitely was like that. We just seen you take the same bump on Tuesday, so we know you gonna make it back in time. You was back in a week's time, so you just absorbed a week's time of recovery into however long you took to get up off that damn stretcher. You could have at least pulled a Mankind and had them take you halfway and push some people away, made it dramatic. You was just over there laying on the ground. There wasn't even no point to have a stretcher come out. But he finally got back in the ring and pulled out his Mr. Miyagi, so that was cool. I don't know what I love Sammy and KO, but I don't know what I want to do with Sammy and KO. I kind of want them to go on vacation or something. Like I just don't know what I need. I don't know. I need something fresh with them right now, and just this little the millennial angle for them is maybe need to take it more millennial. It's not just the crybaby aspect. Give it a little bit more. I don't give a fuck with it, and because right now they're like the little screaming ass kid in the class that you're just like, bro, just shut up so we can go home. Like what's name? Like I don't know. So Daniel Bryan though, cool. Shane, I'm put it this way, Shane, if you ain't really got what that diverticulitis shit, you made it. You did use a hell of a seller, because you look like you did. So yeah, the stars. If I have to give it stars, I'll give it 3 out of the generosity of Daniel Bryan's first time coming back, but it didn't really do anything memorable. Yeah, it didn't do anything memorable.
Go ahead, Sean. Let your voice be heard. You know, you was waiting on this one.
I pretty much have the same thing to say. Like, you know, basically Shane had to wrestle by himself for the first 10 minutes of the match, so it was pretty much them just taking turns beating up on Shane, and Shane selling that his stomach was injured from the diverticulitis. So then, of course, you know, when you think it's about to end, you know, woo, Daniel Bryan's back up, shocker. And he comes in, makes the save, and then it kind of becomes a real match after that. They do back and forth. I will say I'm happy with the outcome, which is what I predicted, that they would win, and now Sammy and KO will probably end up on Raw, although there may be some vacation time in between. So I'm happy with the outcome.
Them niggas about to end up back on NXT.
Nah, they're definitely not sending them back to NXT. That ain't happening. They got a hard enough time with NXT with the talent they have. They can't afford anymore. So shit. Yeah, I thought it was an okay match. It wasn't anything great, but it wasn't anything terrible. I gave it like a 3 stars. So.
True. All right, what was the next match? Was we at the disrespect yet? Oh no, okay, it was cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so this match. I know you want to take first on this, B.
I'm happy the bitch finally lost. You have no fucking idea. Y'all know how I personally feel about the little slut, and I'm so happy she fucking lost.
Whoa, tell us how you really feel.
That bitch deserved to get that Samoan drop from the second rope, and I have never been more pleased with fucking Nia Jax. You did it. You fucking did it. And I gave it a 4 star.
Okay. You wanna go?
Go ahead, Jose.
You had enough energy for that one, huh? Okay, so I personally enjoyed this match. What's that? Draw says, I appreciate the honesty. Yeah, you gonna get a lot of fucking honesty with us, bro. But yeah, man. So I like Jax, but I honestly felt, even though it's good of a match this was for Nia, this was a really good match for Bliss, because this shows that she really could take some bumps, and she is getting very, very comfortable with her gymnastics in this damn Twisted Bliss, because she ready to jump off of anything. She done jumped off Braun, she done jumped off a pod, she done jumped out the ring onto Nia. Now she just pretty much ready to jump off everything. So she's blooming. You know what I'm saying? She's growing. She's getting better. Sean jokingly said one day, you know, if the women are going to be the men, everybody, they should be taking the bumps like the men. He said Nia should Samoan drop somebody off the apron. Well, she Samoan dropped the smallest chick on the roster off the second turnbuckle.
And I never laughed so hard. Oh my gosh.
I mean, the fact that she didn't kick out of it was just very, very satisfying, because I'm just like, honestly, if she kicks out, she's going to win this. And then I'll be very, very upset at that point. But it was great. But I mean, I was impressed by how Bliss was getting thrown. Okay, everybody's seen Jason. Did Nia not take Bliss and throw her in the burlap sack and start beating her against the trees like on the Jason movies? Did she or did she not start? Did she not grab Bliss by the hair and start swinging her back and forth against the damn the barrier? Did she or did she not? And then she threw her across the ring like a damn horseshoe at a picnic, good 3-4 times, and Bliss took full flight. Like, she was throwing her a good 5 yards. These was Palomalu hits she was taking. So I enjoyed all the match. I'm glad nothing funky or nothing crazy happened. Oh, and then let's not to mention, kudos to Nia for being a cerebral giant. You're not just a brute, because you made sure Nikki did the drop of death real quick. Nothing. Nikki had no part of the match. She got to come out in her little outfit and then go to sleep. Night. So good job on that one too. Wasn't gonna be no interference in your match. I feel that. I feels that. So, so yeah, go on here, Shy. What you got to say? The resident Alexa Bliss specialist.
I fucking hated this match. And it wasn't because she lost, because I actually said that I expected her to lose. It was just I didn't like the match. I thought it was boring. It reminded me of like watching Andre the Giant wrestle like a little guy. Like it was just boring. Like the most exciting parts of the match were Bliss doing the twisted bliss to the outside, and then the very end when she does the Samoan drop off the second rope. The rest of the match was boring to me. So I gave it 2 stars on principle that I'm happy for Nia that she finally got the championship, but it was a boring match. I don't know. I didn't like it apparently as much as you guys did. So.
Okay, well I got a question for you.
Okay, well, go ahead.
You know what's about to happen, right? She's going to say she got a rematch clause in her contract.
The MacGyver, so yeah, Cena does suck. Agreed. Horrid Punk, New Day sucks. I fucks with the New Day, my guy.
So do you think they could put on a better match?
Yeah, I definitely think they could put on a much better match. I think that they could put on a very good match if, and I don't know if was that Alexa who tried to plan out the match that way? Was it Nia who planned out the match that way? Was it Creative who told them to do it that way? But I definitely think that they could have done a more entertaining match. I mean, look, I understand Nia is the biggest female they have, and Alexa is, I'm pretty sure, the smallest female they have. But there's more that you can do with a match than just having the little person get thrown around the ring by the big person for 15 minutes. So.
Okay, well, alrighty. Okay. Well, you answered my question. I ain't got nothing to say. Okay.
So what's the next match?
Move on to the next match, which was
the next match is disrespectful.
Was the Knock versus AJ?
Nakamura versus AJ.
So super disrespectful because how dare you put this match on third to last? Like I don't think I mean, I'm pretty sure. What's the name? 4.5 stars on the match. Fuck it, I'm not even gonna talk about the match, but I'm gonna talk about. Y'all got my rating. I'm talking about what the fuck WWE. Like, how do y'all just keep on fucking this shit up? Like Vince, what this is? Look at me, Vince. Look at me in my eyes right here. This is directly to you. The fuck is you doing, bro? Like, how does this keep happening? We can't watch it. We can't. You can't schedule what we had 20 matches tonight on Mania. How you had 20 matches and you can't get the ordering of them motherfuckers right? People, you got Twitter to literally look at and understand who in the world people want to go last and ride the show out on. Not only did you say, oh nah, screw that, you put these niggas third to last. So not only did I not get to see it to ride off into the sunset off of them doing some wow-ish, I had to watch a 10-year-old win the tag titles after it. Before I had to watch the nonsense with so.
There's an umbrella out for that guy too. P.S.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You are so goddamn petty. I hate you.
Oh Lord, shut the fuck up. You know what? At this point, I'm surprised it wasn't JJ that was his partner. Now looking in hindsight, but Nonetheless, like, what the fuck, WWE? So really, so the dream match, the match that you like, this was Vince's ego all over again. This was Vince not taking a New Japan product and giving it the proper spotlight that it deserves on his platform because he wants his shit to be the big dog. It does, but nigga, you could put that shit in our face as much as you fucking want to. It's never going to be a fucking better match than AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. Period. I don't give a fuck how many times you want to do the shit. Like, it's not going to fucking be Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. Never going to be a better match than Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ fucking Styles. Like, stop it. Like, what the fuck is going on? And you know I love me some Braun, but the third to last, bro. Really? Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry. Listen, it's already crazy. Like, you know, I let the Lil Rick slip shot. Lil Rick went number 2 because they was gonna shut it down no matter what spot they went. They suplexed the motherfuckers off the apron to the outside. They was gonna go ham. But really though, you got a nigga with the most elaborate entrance. You spent $10K on both these niggas' entrances. You got a nigga named the Phenomenal One and another nigga named the Artist who came out in all red velour, and these niggas ain't headlining the show. Like, what's going on, bro? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. So I'm not even gonna talk about the match.
It's not me.
It's switching there. I'm using my time to say that Vince, you got me fucked up. You got me fucked up, real fucked up. But 4.4, yeah, I like the match. The match was great, but Vince, you got me fucked up. So, you go ahead, B.
I gave the match a 4 point. I give 4.0. Good match, everything. Nice back and forth, nice storytelling. And then AJ gets the win. Well, I was really cool with that, but I was a little disappointed because it's like, what was the point of not winning the fucking Royal Rumble?
Right. Somebody said earlier that they hate Asian Royal Rumble winners. And yeah, it is Cena's fault that Roman keeps winning. You're right. That's another comment from
And then I upped my rating after knock. You know, gave him a low blow. AJ Styles a low blow.
You know what? I forgot. I forgot about the heel turn. I'm sorry. That was worth mentioning.
That made me go up to a 4.5.
But that's why I did get the 5.
The match itself is a 4. The match itself is a 4, but the heel turn actually bumped it up.
Because that means he gonna really get crazy. Yeah, not gonna really get crazy now.
Nobody didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming. So,
yeah, me neither.
The match of 4, but the heel turn of 4.5.
I will say that. I'll give credit where credit is due. They did a really good job on keeping us on our toes. A lot of these matches were not as predictable as we thought going in.
All right, Sean.
My turns. I'll talk about the match. So, great match. I gave it a 4.5. Pretty much what I expected from AJ and Nakamura, being that they're two of the most talented people that WWE has. They put on a show. They had great counters, back and forth action, finishers that, false finishes, kicking out, couldn't keep the person down, for a 3 count right away. Good spots, aggressive from both competitors. Nakamura is always aggressive, but AJ was aggressive and, throwing stiff strikes as well.
Hold on, here's a question for you, Sean. Do you feel Nakamura? Do you feel Nakamura and Styles had to hold back or adjust to the WWE style for their match compared to when they went at it at Kingdom?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, they had to hold back. They couldn't do what they wanted to, and that's what we wanted.
And also, he also added, do you think it was just because of the WWE rules, or because they didn't want them to outshine Brock and Roman?
They didn't want them to outshine.
They outshined Brock and Roman regardless.
Yeah, but Vince let them know that. Like, don't go out there, outshine my main event.
So, yeah, I mean, even if Vince feels that way, the end result is they did outshine Brock and Roman. So, I mean, I think even a Brock or Roman fan would have to admit that their match sucked, and we'll get to that. But
Sure.
In no way can you tell me that the Nakamura AJ Styles match was worse. It wasn't. It was a much better match from top to bottom.
Well, it
better
definitely could have been a
chemistry.
better match.
But it could have been a better match. It could have definitely, and I do feel like
they definitely didn't have. They definitely had the leash on. You could tell. You could tell.
Yeah.
Shinsuke didn't really get hammered. Shinsuke didn't get disrespectful strong style until he went heel. When he started stepping on AJ at the end, he didn't get gutted like he could.
Yeah, we only really saw him. Like, I know Nakamura did hit the Kinshasa to the back of AJ Styles' head, but in comparison to the Nakamura that we saw against Rusev and the Nakamura that we've seen in NXT, and certainly in comparison to the Nakamura from New Japan, you could tell he was definitely a little bit holding back, for whatever the reason may be. I mean, because we don't know, we're not behind the scenes, but it did seem like they were both holding back. I mean, I don't even think AJ Styles hit the phenomenal forearm in the match, if I remember correctly. So
no, he did. He hit it.
Oh, he did. He did. Okay, maybe I just forgot. No, he didn't win with it. He actually won with the Styles Clash.
Oh yeah, because of the little transition.
Yeah,
which was lovely.
Which was a beautiful transition.
Everything was so nice.
Yeah, the match was great. It's a 4.5 stars, and then the added factor, which even when Jose and me were talking about it when it happened, I said, I feel bad for Nakamura that he had to be the victim, but I'm happy that it happened, because if every time someone wins the Royal Rumble they go on to win the title, it becomes predictable. So it was nice that they changed the format to where the Royal Rumble winner didn't necessarily just automatically win the title afterwards. And I absolutely love the heel turn by Nakamura after the match, giving him the low blow like Chris Jericho did to Shawn Michaels was great, and sets it up to be a long-term feud where we can have, this be the main event of the next SmackDown pay-per-view, and possibly if they play their cards right, they could even carry it over into like a SummerSlam match. So it gives you a lot of potential for a long-standing rivalry, which is very good and positive. So.
Okay, so that takes us to the main event.
No.
Yes, it does. No, it takes us to the main event. It takes us to the main event. Takes us to the main event. That match gets a B for Braun. The only reason that shit got on WrestleMania because of Braun. Period. Not the bar, the Braun. Not the little boy, Braun. That's it. Braun. That's it. That's all that happened, is that you got to see Braun. That's it. Only thing that happened. Braun. That's it. Okay, next match.
I just happen to agree with the joke that they put out there, which is WWE's been saying since the 90s, don't try this at home, and then you have a 10-year-old kid winning the tag team titles with Braun.
Exactly. Yes. Super
and
hilarious.
The first thing we said is, okay, it's a feel-good story, and I don't know the kid's story. Maybe he's a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid. Maybe he's the son of one of the actual wrestlers there. No one really knows.
I mean,
but
that's a highly possibility draw.
It seems a little ridiculous to tell you, okay, so what happens at the next pay-per-view when Braun has to defend the titles? Is Nicholas going to magically be in the stands again?
Right, or is it just going to be another random kid in the stands?
Or is it going to be another random kid? Is it going to be something where he just picks a kid out of the audience every time he has to defend the belt?
Or is he going to pick a random person every night? Anybody, Michael Cole, Byron Saxton, Alexa Bliss, anybody
It's stupid. It's stupid, and they missed it. They missed an opportunity there. They missed an opportunity because they could have had it be a big return. It could have been. I mean, I know. I know people had been speculating it could have been Samoa Joe, because apparently he's medically cleared, but I guess there's some backstage stuff going on with him why they didn't put him on WrestleMania. There, of course, was the fan theory that it was going to be Alexa Bliss after the Mixed Match Challenge. There was a fan theory that it was going to be Rey Mysterio.
Jose Jose's theory.
That was a lot of people. A lot of people were saying it. It wasn't just Jose, but whatever.
I didn't hear that until Jose.
Okay. Well, I saw 3 fucking articles that said it. So obviously you're not looking at the same sources I am, are you? But anyway. So yeah, there was a theory that it was going to be Rey Mysterio. There was a theory that it could have been. I even saw a thing saying it could have been the Big Show or Big Cass coming back. So
yeah, I think both of those.
There was a lot of possibilities.
A lot of people, yeah.
And yet they chose to go with this angle, which was just totally
staff
stupid.
member's son or something. Yeah, so. Who knows if this is going to be with the Braun now? Braun just has tag, but like WWE does a good job of making belts not mean a goddamn thing, and it just
sure do.
It's just like at this point, Gene Snitsky. Oh, okay, I'll say yeah.
Gene Snitsky.
I don't know who that is.
Gene Snitsky is one of the wrestlers from like the mid 2000s. He was in ECW.
Oh, he's saying that's whose kid that was. But he was saying just kidding. He said just kidding. No,
that's terrible. That's terrible. Okay, that's funny though.
Like I don't know. Like at this point, is Raw even going to have a tag team division? Like y'all might just take the revival. They basically don't. They don't. Just take the revival.
I guess now they have Matt and Bray. That's it.
Yeah, and when Brother Nero comes back, what is that going to mean? The
revival and the bar.
The bar, but the bar's about to break up after this Royal Rumble because Sheamus has to retire.
Because Sheamus has to retire, exactly. So
and so if you, and I mean, there's other teams. He's missed Team I Have Kids and Titus Worldwide.
And Titus Worldwide,
and when Seth Rollins ever can keep a healthy teammate,
yeah.
So I mean, there's other, but. Now, honestly, if you bring AOP and Sanity out of the playground and let them come up there with the big boys, then yeah, then they could definitely revalidate the Raw Smack, especially with the revival. But at this point, you might as well just take the
one we did forget though. They do have one other legit
the Balor Club.
The Good Brothers, the Balor Club. Yeah.
But at this point, you might as well move. You might as well move Finn, the brothers, and the motherfuckers over the and the revival to SmackDown and let them get in with that New Day, Alpha America, whatever. Nah, Sheamus, you know what? We've actually talked about this before. Sheamus, Paige, and a few other individuals from that area, no, they cannot get tans. It just will not happen. It just doesn't happen to them. There's something about that region of the world, the sun and the clouds, the UK in general. You're just not going to get any sun at all. You know, as The Rock said on that commercial, looking like you have been hiding from the sun for 20 years. That is them. That is their curse. I don't know what they did to get that curse, but it's a very pasty curse. Drake Maverick tried. It didn't work.
We're going to the main event.
Okay. Okay. Main event. Okay. Yeah. Main event.
I'm not going here with y'all. I need a 10. I'm not doing this with y'all.
What? He asked a question. I'm answering the yes. Harry Potter rejects. You seen the commercial? Yes.
The main event. Brock versus Roman.
Main event. So.
Throw the whole fucking match away. Literally. You just throw the whole fucking match away. Wasting my motherfucking 20 minutes of my life. Throw the whole fucking shit away. I said it. Throw the whole fucking shit away. It was already predictable.
It wasn't predictable because y'all got your picks wrong.
Yeah. I mean, they did hit a shakeup.
Can I get to that? Thank you. Shit. Yeah, I picked Roman, and although he lost, I wanted him to win just so that way we could have an actual champion that's going to be on TV. And not work once every 3 months. It didn't happen, so you know, I guess I still got to deal with this punk ass bitch Brock Lesnar. But again, throw the whole fucking match away. It was a waste of my time, and I ain't giving no star. I just say throw the whole shit in the dumpster.
Damn. All right then. So we got one in the dumpster. How you feel, Sean?
Marginally better than that.
Still a 0.5.
I gave it a 1 star.
Damn.
On principle that, if nothing else, at least I got to see Roman get busted open. Yeah, it was a fucking garbage match, man. I mean, there's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I feel like their match at the last match they had at WrestleMania, where Seth Rollins came out, even like without Seth Rollins, like if you just take the match before Seth Rollins came out and said he was cashing in,
Look, hey,
I feel like
90 said it's bad when blood can't get a match over, but 10-year-old can.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I mean, to be fair, I don't think the 10-year-old got that match over either. But I mean, we made the joke that they were chanting. Yeah. We made the joke that they were chanting for the kid because they actually just wanted to see him get white noised by Sheamus.
Yeah,
the crowd is sadistic as hell.
That's probably true. They wanted to see Cesaro do the swing on a little bastard. You know they did. So
they really did. But yeah, no, Brock versus Roman. I feel like the match they had at the last WrestleMania, even before Seth Rollins came into the match, I feel like that part of the match was better than this match tonight. This match was just super fucking bland. Like, it was literally just power moves. Like, it was literally power moves. It was literally, what did Brock do? German, belly to belly, F5, clothesline, maybe a power slam. I don't even think he did one. That was it. And then, like, striking, like his MMA striking he likes to do. What did Roman do? Clothesline, Superman punch, spear, rinse, repeat 3 times a day for better volume on your hair. Like, it was just boring, bland. There was nothing good about the match. I mean, literally the only reason it got a star is because Brock did bust Roman open, so at least we got to see Roman bleed. But, I mean, it was... And to be completely honest, neither of them are superstars I'm a huge fan of. I'm not a Roman fan, and I'm really, honestly, not a Brock fan. But it was like... So it was like whoever you wanted to win, it was literally like choosing between the lesser of 2 evils, basically. But... Right. I'm kind of surprised that Brock won, simply because now the question becomes, when is he going to drop the belt? Because we know his contract is running out, and to be honest, I do not see him resigning with the UFC or with WWE. So where is he going to drop the belt? Are they going to have him drop the belt at SummerSlam? Are they going to have him drop the belt at Money in the Bank? And who's he dropping the belt to? Because we all know... As you know, even though Roman cut that little promo about Brock being Vince's boy, Roman is Vince's boy. Roman's been shoved down our throats. So it's like, if it's not going to be him, who are they going to have Brock lose to at this point? It just doesn't make any sense. So
me and do that on my.
You're breaking up, Jose.
Yeah.
Nope, you're still breaking up, or you just got quiet.
Yeah, so you... Am I...
Well, you gave it a 1?
No, I haven't said nothing yet. I was saying if Sean was done.
Oh, yeah, I'm done. That's pretty much it. Boring-ass match, 1 star, waste of time. Hopefully they give the title shot to Braun or somebody next, so that...
Well, Braun got a title.
I mean,
people hold the tag belts and something else all the time.
How long? Yeah. How long is he gonna keep it with a 10-year-old? So,
Seth's gonna be the one to win the belt though, for real. But
they're probably gonna give it to Finn for Backlash. He probably gonna title shot for Backlash.
Well, I look at it like this: they basically, to put it back into video game terms, they took 2 motherfuckers, hit default on the move list, and then they went in and changed 2 moves. They gave Brock a German suplex, a belly to belly, and an F5, and they gave Roman a Superman punch and a spear. And that's all these motherfuckers did all match long. I know there was other little moves that, like Sean said, there was some clotheslines and all that type of shit there. I don't count that as moves. That's just part of being a wrestler. So there was like 5 moves in the entire match for 20 minutes the entire time until Brock finally decided to take his gloves off because he needed to have circulation in his fingers while he elbowed a nigga. I don't even, what is the point? What is the gloves coming off helped you hit harder with your elbows for? Because they ain't elbow pads. You're not doing the people's elbow, my nigga. So what was the point of you taking the gloves off? There was no dramatic. The crowd literally just sat there and booed your dumbass pay-per-view. So now the biggest...
They literally chanted, "This is awful."
This is awful. This is boring. Like nobody wanted to see it. There wasn't enough build up. Like the only thing that y'all did accomplish is that when Roman finally takes his vacation that he's going to take now, when he comes back, people might actually like him because he didn't win and he got his ass beat. So maybe people might be naive enough to think that Roman isn't the boy anymore, but really, they're just tired of trying to get him over right now, especially when there's Braun. Cena didn't have a Braun Strowman. Cena was just there. Wrestling was kind of dry. CM Punk was there, but CM Punk isn't 7 foot tall. I mean, CM Punk is one hell of an act, but we know how Vince feels about his big boys. So Cena didn't have a 7-footer that could make them think, let's take a step back from this. Roman does. Braun's here. He just got a 10-year-old over. We might see Roman get a little bit of the torch. He might really become like an IC title contender now, and we see him and Seth. I don't be surprised if Seth ends up in one of these title matches and maybe even get a title. Getting a little out there, but I could see him holding both for a little hot second. But yeah, the match itself, it was like, yeah, the San Francisco Mania match was way better. I expected a lot more from both of y'all just because it was like, y'all know, like me being a professional and being a competitor, I would look at this reviews and know how much everybody wanted Shinsuke and AJ to be the headliner. So for me to be the headliner, I would at least go out there and be on some I'm gonna prove you wrong type shit. I wouldn't just come out there and put on some bullshit. And then it wasn't like the match had any type of, it didn't even have like a I'm gonna break you down slowly storyline. Like it was just like, I'm gonna do what I do. We just gonna do a little here. It wasn't even really back and forth because Braun kind of was beating his ass the entire time, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, you got strong will and I'm going to tear you down like in the first time. It was just like, slam, here, botch, here, and then all the F5s, I forgot. Yeah, so I guess that was the breakdown of his strong will. There was like a million F5s that Roman kicked out of, even though he was going to the fucking ER every time he caught one on Raw. But, I guess because he didn't get F5'd on the stairs, it was different this time. But nonetheless, he kicked out of that a bunch of times.
Chest protector on.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, he has a chest protector on. But nonetheless, he still lost. After all this, he still lost. How do you kick out of 7 F5s just to lose? Okay. I just don't get it. Sometimes I just don't get it. Like, some things are so wonderfully done, like Lil Rick and Asuka and Nia and Bliss and Usos and Bludgeons, and then you got the main event just fucking stupid. And then the craziest thing is, the craziest thing that we'll notice tomorrow, we might not see Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, and it's probably going to be the best Raw of the year still. And we won't even notice that the motherfuckers ain't on the show until it's over and somebody says Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar weren't on the Raw after Mania. These two, like, they're two how is the mid card it's better and what we care about more than the championship, other than what we got going on SmackDown? No one cares about the Universal title. No title on Raw means anything. Shout out to The Miz. You know what? I hate you, but shout out to The Miz for making the IC title mean something, because no title on Raw right now other than the women's title and the SmackDown title and the IC title mean anything. Anything. You know what? You damn right the Cruiserweights deserve to be on the motherfucking main card, because some of this shit could have easily been on the fucking open.
Hey, you in the comments. Shut the hell up.
He's a 205 hater, but I damn sure would have watched Mustafa and them over. Shit, Roman and them could have been on the goddamn mid card for all this, and that ain't no over exaggeration.
So wait, no, wait. What did you give the rating?
Oh, flip a coin. I'll give it 2.
Oh, you real generous.
Yeah, that's because I'm being generous. I just felt the need to. Because
Okay.
you threw the match away. Sean gave it a 1,
Sure
so
did.
I felt like we needed to try to get the average in there somewhere.
No, I didn't deserve it. No, Sean was very nice with the one. I feel as though,
I don't
but
know all
that's
about that. He
the
said
type of guy
Ronda will
Sean
snap
is.
Brock's arm and end his career. I don't know all about that, bro. I would like to see it though. That might not be in Ronda's best interest. But yeah, see that's the thing though. That just it made WrestleMania. It didn't make WrestleMania suck, but it was like, why end it like that? You knew what you had in your hands. You knew what you're getting yourself into. Why end it like that? You could have had, and especially because on NXT, damn, he gave it a .25. Well, shit, 420,
How, Sway?
420
You know what? I don't
society.
even want to know. Look, I don't even want to know how. I really don't even want to know how.
Because of
I
the
don't even want to
blood.
know.
Because of blood. But shout out to 420 Society. I said you heard. But yeah, man, I just don't understand why you would want to end WrestleMania like that. Like, why would you want to piss everybody off? You already pissed us off with Jinder, and especially when Triple H runs the show, he don't give a fuck about throwing the damn. He'll throw them the NXT Heavyweight Championship match on second to last. He don't give a damn. Like at this point, Brock could have hit or Braun could have headlined, and nobody would have cared. Braun and Timothy could have headlined, and nobody would have cared.
Damn Amber Alert. You know what? I'm so over this.
Who would set the Amber Alert? What is this?
I'm so over this.
Someone put a meme up and saying there's now an Amber Alert for a missing child in Cleveland or in New Orleans named Nicholas.
Oh god, I have followed WrestleMania since the first one. Okay, so you've seen a lot of good and a lot of bad, bro. But tonight, yes, there was some definitely good matches, but this match that they chose to headline it was some booba, straight poop. Could have been earlier. They could have been like dropped 6 matches before, or any other number under 6 before.
Yeah, it just wasn't a good match. It was very disappointing for me because even though I'm not a fan of either wrestler that much, I did expect it to be a better match than they put on. That match was just terrible.
Right, yeah, I expected to have some type of competitive spirit to it. It wasn't even like a competitive like.
It wasn't even competitive. It was Brock beating the shit out of him, and then Roman had a couple flurries of offense. Like he had the flurry in the beginning where he hit him with a couple Superman
The
punches.
most.
Then he had
Oh no.
another flurry somewhere in the middle, and then he had the flurry at the very end where he hit him with a couple spears, and then Brock finished him with like the 7th fucking F5 of the match. So yeah, it was. I mean, it reminded me of when it actually was very almost cookie cutter copy of when Brock beat Cena for the championship in that match they had, where he literally just suplexed Cena around the ring for 15 minutes. Cena had like a flurry where he hit him with like 2 F5s, Brock kicked out. And Cena had another flurry where he hit him with the STF, Brock got out of it, and then Brock proceeded to just beat him down even more and eventually pin him. It was almost the same fucking match.
Yeah, pretty much. Got the question for you guys in the comments. Draw says, who is the most beautiful diva of all time?
Of all time?
Of all time.
Are we only counting WWE or are we counting all female organizations?
WWE.
Oh.
He said diva. He said diva.
Yeah,
That's true. He did say
he said
diva.
women said no. Women said Sable 98.
That's not a diva. She was a women's champion.
I'm slaughtering his name too, but it was.
You said diva.
Well, he said Tori Wilson first. He said Tori Wilson 03, but he said no Sable 98. So I'm assuming he means women's competitors in WWE.
In WWE, okay. I mean, that's a very.
I got to go with Young Peyton. Oh, done. See, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you young Peyton. I mean, I feel like that's a very biased question because assuming that you're a straight male, it's all about your personal preference. Some people like blondes, some people like brunettes, some people like redheads. So some people like big tits, some people like big asses. But me personally, I think it's a tie. My two favorite in terms of just sex appeal divas would be Christy Hemme and Ashley Mazzaro.
Never heard of them.
Christy Hemme was a redhead in the 2000s, and Ashley was the winner of the Divas Search contest, and she was kind of like, yeah, and she was like a punk rock chick. She had like tattoos and lip piercings and shit, and they were both in Playboy, so I got to see them both naked, so I'm biased.
Okay. Draws took Tori Wilson. 420 Society took Sable as well, but he said China was second. You like it rough, you like China, huh?
Yeah, China was never. I mean, I'll be honest. China. After she came off the steroids, China was a lot more feminine than she was in the DX time. But yeah, no, I just never really found myself attracted to China, personally. But.
I mean, China had a little thing going on, a little thing.
Yeah, Tori definitely was attractive, and so was Stacy Keibler.
Oh yeah, young Stace in the place. But some of these new divas is something else, though. And then superstars, women.
I mean, the newer divas. If you're going newer. Probably my two favorite are AJ Lee and Paige. Unfortunately, now she can't compete. But all time, Christy, Ashley Mazzaro, definitely. Always got a good rise out of me, to say the least.
Oh yeah, I mean, as you see, we lost a member. B has
abdicated the throne.
Yes, the petty one has left the building. But yes, guys, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for tonight's review. If you aren't familiar with this, if it's your first time checking us out, don't forget to give us a like. Go ahead and subscribe so you can join us. This is the podcast channel, so you can always catch me, Petty, the Don, Sean, and some of the other homies on the team when we do things like the list, pay the review after every pay-per-view, of course. And ooh, you ain't just do that though. This fool said, whose hairline is thinner, Sasha Banks or the Undertaker? I'm not fucking with you, and you lucky that B left this group, or it would be all types of hell for you to pay right now.
He's fired shots at his two favorites, though.
Right, I know. I didn't even think about it. Oh my goodness. When B goes back and sees that, he's gonna be on your back when we see the next time. But yes, no problem, Draws. Thank you for joining us, my bro. And don't forget, like, subscribe, check us out again after every pay-per-view. Check us out, it's Petty Review. That is the name of the show. Me, the Don, the Petty one. We come through, give you a review, give you our thoughts. We also come through with different lists, different podcasts. Join our notification squad so you can see when we go, because we don't know. I'll try to keep you updated on the Twitter or the IG, link in the description for those, so you can find out when we're going to be on most of the time. All the gaming stuff, check that over on the Twitch, same name as the YouTube. Guys, y'all are good for subscribe. Oh yeah, for sure, man. Appreciate it. I said you heard. We appreciate all the love, all the subs, all the views, all the subscribes. I said you heard. Keep rock with us. We rock with you because we taking that time and we'll take you with us. I said you heard me. Hold on. But until next time, Raw, this SmackDown are going to be pretty decent. I'm assuming NXT is probably going to be a highlight show. They're the best Raw and SmackDown of the year is always after WrestleMania. It's a notorious fact for that. So don't quote me, but if people's schedules can get copacetic, possibly Tuesday or possibly Wednesday or Thursday, we might have a reaction to, what happened on those. But don't quote me on that. That's it, you're here. But we will try to make that happen. Hold on, though. But until the next time we pop on, what's the next pay-per-view? Where are we at from here?
Ooh. I believe the next pay-per-view is May, so is it
Oh
Backlash in
no, you
May?
know what? Lies. Next pay per view was actually
The next
the
pay-per-view
end
is
of
technically the
April.
Royal
That Royal
Rumble.
Rumble, yeah,
Yeah.
greatest Royal Rumble. So we will catch you guys at the end of the month. The greatest Royal Rumble. Every title except for the women's titles will be on the line. Pigs, bastards. But yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, you know they're real close-minded over there, so we won't get any women's action. But there'll be every other title will be on the line, and a couple other matches in between. We'll see what it does. Yeah, so you'll get you guys back then, and then I said you heard.
All right, and then after that, it will be Backlash in May. Will be the next one after that.
Oh yeah, Backlash in May after that, and draws me. Most beautiful diva of all time. Me, young Peyton Royce, NXT gang. I said, you heard? Check her out. Yeah, I said, hold on, no. But yeah, guys, that's it. Say goodbye to the people, Sean.
Goodbye, YouTube. Thanks again for all the love and support. We appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you next time, whether that's the petty review or maybe another show before then.
I said, me, you hear me? Hold on. No. And we'll catch you next time. We are out.